Hey guys, greetings. What is up and a very warm welcome. Just thought I'd turn on my mic a few minutes early here. Got a few minutes before we're scheduled to start. So, Jesus Christ. Just playing out this game, but I am so dead! Actually, we could Scorching Dragonfire that one. Nah, dude, I'm just going to bet on that he's going to mill himself out before he can kill me. So let's let him have... Yeah, sure. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. We're so dead. Until he actually demonstrates a way of breaking through my wall of token creatures, though, we're going to let this play out. I'm not actually dead until he gets something with trample. I mean, he must be desperately looking for it, but he's down to like 23 cards in his library, so like he has to find it soon. Alright, bro. How many more? 41, yeah, cool. Right. What's your plan, man? Let's see what you got. Yeah, Uro, but it doesn't have trample. So, like... Sure, you can resolve Uro. Oh my god, it draws him. It gains him so much life now. It gains him 12 life. Alright. My plan of killing him with weaponize the monsters now looks a bit less likely that he's on 30 life. And can do that a load more times, but like... Oh my god. You know, I might be able to win this with Zenith Flare if it goes long. Look how much value he's getting. This is insane. How has he not been able to kill me yet? You must have a win condition in your deck, sir. What is it? Okay, are you going to attack me? Ah, I didn't think so. You got no balls. Got little lady balls. Oh, I should have weaponized that monster. Right, okay, well, it's time for Midday Magpie to start. This guy's totally got this, so we can just concede. There was actually a slim chance I could have won that. We could have played out for it, but it would have taken until he decked out, which would have been another few minutes, so we're just going to concede on that one. Alrighty, let's get started proper. Greetings! What is up and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the Magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with what will surely be, hopefully, another fantastic day of Company of Heroes 2 live casts. Yes, and just all the good things that we've come to expect from the Midday Magpie stream. Sorry that I'm starting an hour late. I do apologise. This is going to be the new start time of Monday's Midday Magpie. In fact, why don't we just bust open the schedule announcement, which I have updated, and then we can make all of this clear. Here we go. So on Mondays, we're going to be doing Midday Magpie, starting now at 1200 GMT, not 1100. So it is literally going to be midday GMT, perhaps a little bit easier to remember. So yep, that's what we're doing on Mondays. Then Wednesday and Friday, we're going to be doing evening casting at 1700 GMT. So that's going to be the schedule this week. We'll see how it feels, and hopefully it's going to be pretty good. And whilst today we do just have Company of Heroes 2, I was talking to A-Game Anx last time, and we kind of just decided it would be a really good idea if I could find one Deserts of Karak or maybe two Deserts of Karak replays to cast on each stream, just because it's such a hench RTS, and it deserves more coverage, and I love casting it. Now that's not something I've done ahead of time for this one. It's been super busy. I had a great weekend, and it's been a really busy morning. That's why we're starting an hour late. But yeah, moving forwards, that's definitely something that I want to do. So yeah. Right, I believe that covers all of the basics. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Yes, there is something else I wanted to talk about. Now, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath is in the Steam sale. It's on sale right now. It's half price. So you need the base game and you need the expansion pack Kane's Wrath in order to play it. But it's a sick RTS. It's so good. And a friend and I, we got it. We played it last night. It turns out the online services still work. You just have to use it's like they're all fan run. They're all fan sponsored. They just took over the servers. So you use this launcher called CNC Online, and then you can play Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. The ladder works. Custom games work. You can play skirmishes with AI. You can play ranked matchmaking. It all works, and that is a sick RTS. So, busted it out last night for the first time online, and good God did we have fun. So much fun. So I'm just putting it out there as a recommendation. You can get one of the best RTSs of all time right now, half price, on the Steam sale, Command & Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath. If you have not played it, you owe it to yourself. Don't confuse it with Command & Conquer 3, because that got really middling reviews and was kind of lame. And then they brought out the expansion, Kane's Wrath, which just changed everything. It added 6 new playable factions with so many new units, completely new maps and balancing. It is literally a different game. It's like comparing Command & Conquer Generals to Command & Conquer 0 Hour. Like, it is that much of a difference. It's probably much more of a difference, actually. So, yes, I would recommend Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. I'm loving it right now. So, okay, cool. Right. Well, we've got a game ready here. So, why don't I go ahead and get this one started. Spawning in the north, playing as the Vermat pieces, bringing a defensive doctrine Ostropan style to the table. It is going to be Hoy's Jimmy 890. And spawning in the south, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it's going to be Caesar, who's going to be bringing a, what is this, Royal Engineer Regiment? Yes. On this map, which is Lost Glider, bear with me 1 second. Okie dokie. Sorry about that. Thank you all you wonderful people for tuning in today. Sorry about the delayed start. I did put a post on the Twitter and on the YouTube community page there on the channel. So if you go to youtube.com/magpie842, then click on community. There's like a little thing there where I can just post updates and whatnot. So I posted on there, and I posted on the Twitter saying that I was going to be starting an hour late. And also, if you just come to the Twitch homepage and then look down under the Twitch homepage, there's like a Twitter feed there. So you don't even need to follow me on Twitter. If you come to the Twitch and I'm not streaming when you think I should be, scroll on down there. Odds are I will have posted a comment saying when I will be streaming, or like whatever it is that's delayed me or something or other to keep you updated. So, yep. Apologies once again for the late start. But it's great that we already have like double-digit viewers. That's Hench. And we got Datton, A-Game, Strumming Bird. Good to see you all in chat there. Who's this? Artillery Guy, 155mm. What is up, friend? Good to hear that you've been on Red Alert too. Man, that game was out there. That was an out there game. How about them Yuris, man? How the hell do you balance a faction whose core mechanic is like literally controlling your units? Like, Jesus Christ, that was a difficult game. But it's really good. Yeah, I haven't seen Caesar in forever. He's been playing quite a lot recently. He is actually caning it. He's been bringing some really solid UKF builds. Nothing cheesy, almost never using the AEC, just doing solid UKF stuff. And it has been really nice to see. This is the first time I've seen him play on a larger map, though. Hey, look, he gets these Tommies run behind the MG42. Good thing the Pioneers are here to cover it, or that could have been nasty for Jimmy. Yeah, he's just doing really sort of just solid, trusty, reliable UKF stuff, but without having to reach for anything too cheesy feeling. So yeah, listen, this will be the first time I've cast him on a larger map, though. So we'll see if those same styles can work on a map which is a bit broader, where you have to make a lot more choices about where to send your units so that they'll have the most effect. Looks like we're up to 3 Struppens so far for Jimmy 890. Pardon me. Can you guys imagine if there was a commander in the game, right, which had Ostropan and Assault Grenadiers? Like, what would that even be like? I mean, that would be sick, wouldn't it? I would like to see that. The Ostropan Assault Grenadier commander. That's probably busted. That is probably busted. I don't know, actually. Is it busted? Because you can already do assault. You can already do Ostropan Pioneer. Or then they'd have sprint. I don't know. Sounds fun. I don't know why it just popped into my head just then, but it did. So, yeah. So I guess we're kind of just waiting for this game to warm up a little bit. Vickers machine gun will get added in. This is what I mean. Caesar just almost plays UKF in a Wehrmacht style, just like relying on the solidity of Tommy's supported by good weapons teams to get him through to company command post. Like, doesn't appear to... And he's also, actually, yeah, Caesar also is playing like pretty often. We'll probably see a UKF sniper, because just seems to be using a UKF sniper against Ostrobin, against OKW, against everything. So if you wanted to see 55 calibers of Wrath be brought down upon some German dudes, you might well be in luck as this game moves on. So Panzer Grenadier is going to get mixed in for Jamie 890. That is super standard. That is turbo standard. That is what we're used to seeing. So this is pretty much the go-to Ostrobin build here. The only variation is sometimes we see players go up to double MG42 if you're playing on the likes of Crossroad or Crossing in the Woods or, you know, maps like that. But on this map for sure, you can one MG42 is absolutely fine. It's not that the machine guns are bad on this map. It's just that it's so big that you can't just build two MG42s and then just be certain that one's in every fight, which is quite a cool luxury to have on the smaller maps. But you cannot really do that on this map.
Engineer section is waiting for orders.
Oh, an engineer section waiting for orders. Well, here they come. And a neat little ticket lead being developing here for Jimmy. About, what are we now? 59 tickets in the ascendancy. So, you know, everything you can get in these early few minutes is useful, and it might seem small, but it will have an effect if this game goes on. So, always good to find value wherever you can. And, you know, at the high levels of any RTS, it is the small things that always make the difference. When people are, you know, all the way through the sort of beginner stages and the mid-tier of your average RTS, most games are decided by who makes the biggest mistakes. Either the most mistakes or whoever makes the single biggest mistake. It is your net volume of mistakes which tends to influence the outcome of the game. Only once both players reach quite a high level of general competency are RTS games decided by other stuff. And the higher the skill differential, the bigger small things are. The much bigger effect small things will have in the outcome of the game because the players are so highly skilled. So that's just kind of how things work in RTS usually. So yeah, little things. I mean, we are casting off the top of the ladder. This definitely represents high tier Company of Heroes 2. And, you know, these 60 tickets might not look like much, but they could have an impact on how this game pans out, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Losing a capture point.
Datton, you wish Brit players use the Pyro package more. Yeah, I probably do as well. I actually think this is a sick commander. And the Ava, the Dustbin Petard mortar, I mean, we have actually, I think it was Caesar who was using it, like, was it Caesar? We caught it on the channel, like, last week, I think. And what a fun unit that one is. It's kind of like a Storm Tiger, except it's not so cripplingly difficult to use. You can just rumble it forward, donk, take the shot, you know. It's not so telegraphed, and it doesn't have to sit there all vulnerable to reload. You can still be driving it around and using it whilst it reloads. So a very interesting unit, the Ava. Criminally underused in the top tiers of play. Probably because it's actually not super great in the top tiers of play, but certainly very entertaining from a casting and viewing standpoint. So I do hope that this goes on to be an Ava game here. And both players here giving a good account of themselves on the field. Ostrobin, Panzer Grenadiers trading well against Tommies with Royal Engineers. We're going to see a QF 6-pounder. Going to be the next one on the list here for Caesar, and this is what I mean. Like, we don't see him reaching for the AEC. We don't see him reaching for, I don't know, just like any of the crazy stuff that UKF forces. There's no Bren carrier. This is just essentially a Wehrmacht style. Like, what we are seeing from Caesar, you could analog into Wehrmacht, and it would basically play the same. This is essentially quad Grenadiers with Pioneers MG42 pack gun. And if you are confident playing a solid infantry style with good rifleman type units supported by solid weapon teams, then Caesar's UKF style could well be for you. It is kind of strange that we've not seen a sniper so far. He does normally squeeze out that sniper before the 6-pounder, But I'm guessing, oh, nice cut off being grabbed here. Oh, these Pioneers, look how much, oh, let's crack the tack. Look at how much that's cutting off. Crucially, the fuel, but 2 other points. So these Pioneers are able to drive deep and get some work done. There's also an S minefield established here as well. So Jimmy 890 getting a bit cheeky here. No metal detector for Caesar. He has gone for the pyro package on those Royal Engineers. So perhaps being a little exploited for using the flamethrower here will be our UKF player Caesar. We'll have to see how this game develops, but those S minefields, they're right on the retreat path. Oh, no, they're not. No, it looks like most units filtering around this building this way. Okay, but here we go. Now the minefield. Oh, God. You got to look out for the signs. Okay, he does see it, I think, because he seems to be microing around it, but we're going to need a metal detector, and sure enough, another squad of engineers comes onto the queue. So I believe Caesar does comprehend the peril presented by those mines, and is going to be making the correct adaptations to overcome that. You just don't want to be leaving an S minefield this close to your base. I mean, a retreating unit could so easily be squad wipes passing through there, and that would be seriously bad news. And look how long this cutoff provided by those Pioneers has gone on for. Just now, a QF 6-pounder will be retaking that point, but still not reconnected. So that was at least a minute's worth of disrupted income that Jimmy 890 was able to find against Caesar there. So very nice stuff. As I take a break here to pour myself a cup of tea. All right. Looks like we've got another big fight going to be taken here. MG42 Instakirche. We're going to be supported by Panzer Grenadiers here. And catching a couple of UKF squads here under the arc is really nice. Royal Engineers are going to take care of this S minefield, which actually makes this fallback relatively safe. Yep, there we go. Just in the nick of time, they're going to take care of those mines. It's very nice. But Jimmy 890 definitely spearheading an assault here. Panzer Grenadiers and Ostrom breaking through. You can see on the minimap as well, German units are taking ground in east. The cutoff is grabbed once again. And I think it's fair to say with this, Jimmy 890 has definitely had the upper hand in the early game. Although it's been a close run thing, Jimmy 890 is just about pulling ahead now. The fuel income is going to be telling. The scoreline is essentially closed up, but this amount of resource differential will be telling. The Panzer IV, if it is going to be a Panzer IV, will be out noticeably before, I expect, a Cromwell. Although having said that, the UKF player has not gone for the AEC or anything like that. We do have weapon racks finishing up now, actually. Yeah, even with... oh, wow, very nice, actually. Some Tommies able to finally poke Jimmy 890 back for the damage he's been doing. So a similar cutoff being inflicted here. So any lead for Jimmy 890 is going to be limited at best here. Battle Phase 2 is done for the Wehrmacht forces. So they have the option of throwing down the support armor corps. Not enough fuel to make that worthwhile right now. And look at the fuel damage being done by both these two players grabbing cutoffs. They're both kind of gasping for fuel. That's going to make this a relatively slow tech game, to be honest. And this early game phase is probably going to persist a couple more minutes than we're used to seeing. Panzer Grenadiers here, though, will get a squad wipe. I believe that was off the back of a bundle grenade in a nice position here. So finally, it is Jimmy 890 who draws first blood, if you will. And yeah, he's going to gib a unit of Tommies there. That's nice. That is meaningful damage. That's going to make Caesar's position in this game super worse as it goes on. James Oscarthorpe. What's going up front? What's going on, friends? Am I following the tournament? Nope. No, I'm going to watch the VODs probably this evening, actually. Basically, I had a really good weekend, but it was completely busy. I had no time for watching tournament, I'm afraid. So there we go. Yeah, pronounced correctly. I've been practicing that. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. You know, I'm not much for doing impressions, but when it comes to being the Mortal Kombat / you know, Quake 3 announcer, I've got that kind of on lock over there. Takes some practice, but you know, I saw some YouTube tutorials and I've been practicing in front of the mirror, and I can look. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Monster kill. See, there we go. I'm not bad. It's amazing what you can do with dedication. So, GR34 mortar going to be added into the roster, and Jimmy 890, I'm loving the composition. It looks super sick. Double Pioneers is just what he needed. Now, the UKF composition, we've only lost the Tommies, but it does look a bit small when you're up against Ostropon, doesn't it? Not too many units up here. A second machine gun is going to be pretty useful for hanging on to the map here. And if I crack the tack, we can see that Caesar is actually able to put on the pressure and is beginning to push this back. UKF units are sort of pushing across all stages of the map. This infantry section probably just wants to be given some orders to start pushing here. Maybe? No, they're going to dig in actually. But it's nice to see Caesar unbowed by the squad wipe and the early game disruption that they were suffering, and just the aggression coming out of Jimmy 890. Gonna deflect that nicely, move on into the mid game looking strong. GR34 is here, so that's going to start shelling the church here. Let's have a quick check. So company command post is done for the UKF player. We're up to about 90 fuel, so maybe in a minute or two could go for a Cromwell. Support armor core is actually going to be the choice for the Axis player, so definitely an intention then to go for one of these 3 units. Almost certainly the Panzer IV, given what we know about this map. So it is likely to be a medium tank showdown here, unless Caesar has designs on going for something else first. But it is probably going to be a medium tank showdown here. This is super interesting, actually. Look at this. Jimmy 890 totally... Did he throw down light? Yeah, okay. So Jimmy 890 did not purchase the pack gun that you often need to purchase against Soviets and USF. And sometimes players even feel pressured to get it against UKF. You know, you need that pack gun to not die to the T-70. You need the pack gun to not die to the Stuart. And... against UKF, sometimes you need it to not die to the AEC, but Jimmy 890 will not be punished for not going for the sort of 7, 8, 9 minute pack gun, and that's fine. To be honest, on a map this big, you could wait and see if the AEC comes out, especially against UKF. Oh, squad wipe against these Ostropen would be nice. He's getting away! He's getting away! Somebody stop him! Somebody stop it! There we go. Alright, nice. Okay, cool. Picking up a squad of Ostropen is really nice. Jimmy 890 doesn't want to be diverting manpower towards building more Ostropen. What is up, Prime Clarity? Good to see you in chat. You know we're cracking the tack. That's how we roll around these here parts. Panzer IV and Cromwell, both on the queue at the exact same time. Look how even this game has been. The scoreline, dead even, although I grant you a triple cap for the German forces right now. And it's the Cromwell and the Panzer IV coming out at the exact same time, pretty much. So this is this game balanced on a knife's edge right now. Panzer Grenadiers, whoa, that's nice though. That is nice. We'll take a free Vickers gun. These Ostropen are going to man that one in a hurry. Nice. And German forces pushing through again. Despite the fact that this has, in terms of the scoreline and the resource differential, this game has been almost entirely even. I do feel like Jimmy 890 just is serving the aggro. He is on the front foot, and I always favour the attacking player. Oh, Bundaroo grenade. Not going to pay off there though. Panzer IV. Now on the field. It's fitting camo as well, you have to admit. That camo very effective on these sort of dry brown fields. And the Cromwell coming out. Less fitting camo, perhaps, but a mighty splendid Cromwell that is. UKF forces pushing all over the place, and Jimmy 890... Sorry, Caesar does need to grab some of these victory points away from Jimmy 890 here. So, yeah. The munitions float from Axis. Oh, good spot, Dan. Yep, it is indeed quite hefty. So we could buy some LMG 42s perhaps on the Struppen if we felt like it. The pintle mount for the Panzer IV is on the way. Pardon me. And of course, remember, we do have the artillery, sector artillery, but it's not an especially astounding way to spend your munitions, so perhaps we could just throw down telemines all over the place or something. You know, there's a lot of things to do with those munitions. So, okay, the Cromwell feeling super aggro, going to crush through a wall and try and engage the Panzer IV. Neither medium tank able to find significant damage against the other as the initial round's going to exchange there. We need to buy the tank commander, though. That's really important. So it's such a cheap upgrade, and it provides just an accuracy buff. That is fantastic. So we do want to buy that tank commander. It's a little worrying to me. Caesar has just forgotten about that for now. We definitely have enough munitions, but that's a thing we could do. So I would like to see that. Panzer IV at last finds a penetrating hit onto this Cromwell. QF 6-pounder pulls up into position to help out here, but the Panzer IV lurking just out of range for now. That is the sound of a German Vickers. Oh no, no, sorry, it's a UKF Vickers. Where is the German Vickers? Here he comes, just moving out the base. Alright, so let's crack the tack and we can see exactly what's going on here. Hey Emma Duranke, welcome aboard. Good to see you back. We started an hour late today, so you're actually pretty much just in at the start of the stream. We are 17 minutes 50 seconds into the first game of the day. And what a cracker it's been so far. Two very well matched players, very evenly matched. Yeah, just it's been almost a pinpoint even game. The medium tanks came out like within seconds of each other, and the scoreline has been quite even. But Jimmy 890 bringing the spice over the last phase of play has been quite nice. Inflicts a decent amount of ticket advantage there.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Yeah, I agree with you, A-Game. Caesar's style is very neat, but the Wehrmacht player is also making cool choices. Yeah, this was why I was the most excited when UKF were added to the game, because finally I felt like there was an allied faction where all my experience playing as Axis was valid, all my Wehrmacht experience I could bring to playing an allied faction, and I really do feel like there is a way of playing Brits where you basically just play them as Wehrmacht. Not even light, just Wehrmacht's different. Because they just have all the same choices. You can build early MG, you have solid riflemen, you have solid anti-tank gun. The only thing you don't have is a mortar squad, and there's even a commander for that if you really do want it. And you even get a sniper, you know. So I really do feel like if you want to play a Wehrmacht style whilst playing an allied faction, UKF are the ticket for you. And we're seeing that in this game. The playstyle from these two players has been so similar. You know, just like have solid core infantry, backed up by very potent weapon teams, and play for medium tank in a timely fashion, and that's what's gone on here. And it's Jimmy 890 though who continues to ride this wave of advantage. Caesar at the moment finding difficulty accessing the midline of the map, and that's problematic, isn't it? He's falling behind now, about over 100 tickets and 228. That is not a lot of time left on the clock here. So Caesar needs to make something happen, and it has to be soon. We can't afford to hemorrhage too far, or else we just won't have enough wind left in the sails to get us through the last stages of the game. So anyway, Panzer Grenadiers, Panzer Shrek upgrade is actually going to finish on those. So looks like Jimmy 890 valuing additional anti-tank resources, and who can blame him as he lines up shots against this Cromwell. QF 6-pounders and the Cromwell firing away at this Panzer IV, which is seemingly immune to all the anti-tank rage that is being flung upon it. What? How does this thing get away with, like, full health? Has he actually damaged the Panzer IV yet? I just don't feel like he has. The Panzer IV coming up for its first star of veterancy. The Cromwell barely halfway. So that sort of tells you how efficient these two medium tanks have been so far. The UKF player definitely being a bit unlucky, perhaps, with some of these shots. But also Jimmy 890 making it as difficult as possible for these units to pay for themselves. Combat out here in West as well. The Bren guns on the Tommies. The weapon racks finished a while ago, and these Bren guns have been useful. Just oh, hello. Who's this? God is an ass. Oh, what has happened to my follow alerts? Okay. For some reason, since last time we were casting, they are now no longer correctly clipping. So that sucks. But thank you very much for the follow. God is an astronaut _co3. Really appreciate the support in these lockdown times. Casting is a means of sanity protection, a means of sanity preservation for me. So it means the world to me that everybody seems to be tuning in and enjoying the games I'm casting. So, yep, thanks very much for the follow there, friends. Appreciate it. Hope to see you later on in the week as well. We're streaming on Wednesday and Friday in the evening this time. 1700 hours GMT when we'll be streaming on Wednesday and Friday. All right. Oh, Panzer IV looking to find this Cromwell. Caesar finally gets out from under the clock. 173 tickets now and stable, but needs to do some damage to the scoreline of Jimmy 890. And look at this, German infantry sneaking on in. There's no defenders over here, so he's going to get the VP. He's going to get fuel as well if he wants it. And Caesar, I think, really feeling the impact of having lost those Tommies early on and playing against an Ostrupin style. There just aren't quite enough UKF infantry squads out on the map to give him the coverage he needs to access the points in a timely way. So, yeah. Just reading through chat here. Cromwell the Kingmaker, though, if he starts penetrating, yep, for sure. Emma Duranke, glad that the sanity preservation is also being useful to you, my friends. Yeah, the lockdown is slowly being eased, actually, here and there around the world, and definitely where I live in the UK it's being eased as well. but we're still not able to, we're in June now. This is when I like to be, I mean, I don't know if you guys know very much about, I live in a city called Bristol, and we have a very good cider scene here. And now is when I usually like to be able to go out and enjoy that. I don't really drink much alcohol. It's not really for me. It doesn't agree with me. But I do like a nice cider in the sun with friends, a nice cool cider in the hot sun, and just meeting up with friends in town and doing that kind of thing. Can't be doing it right now. Can't be doing anything like that. Can't be going to the parks. There's nothing like that. Is all the drawbacks of living in the city with none of the upsides. That is what you get in lockdown. So there we go. Oh, James. Oh, you're in York. Nice one, buddy. Yeah, I've been to York a couple of times. Lovely place. I almost went to uni there, as it happens. Broom bar. We've got a broom bar on the queue. All right. Okay, it's going to be a broom bar here. Oh, shit. We got so much fighting going on. So many Panzerschrecks to look out for this Cromwell as well. There's telemines all over the place. So this Cromwell on thin ice. Let me just quickly check and see. Okay, yeah, Hammer Tech is done. So it's going to be a Comet. But the Comet isn't going to be ready for a while, and this Brumbar is here now. So, okay, UKF forces, this could get challenging, because I feel, like I was saying earlier, the UKF problem right now is that we just don't quite have enough infantry units to be able to adequately deal with West, East, and Mid. And we're so far behind on the scoreline, I feel like that's kind of what we need to be aiming for. And the Brumbar is only going to tax and stress very heavily your infantry roster. So here it comes, pulling on into town now. Gonna announce itself. Hey boys, what's going on? Donk! Boom! And that's the thing that the Brumbar does. Even if it's not getting squad wipes, and it's very good at doing that, even if it's not getting squad wipes, it forces infantry squads back, and that's very good when you're trying to win a game based on victory points in the scoreline, because if your opponent can't keep their infantry units on the map, well, they're going to have a bad time. So, yeah, I love the Brumbar. I think it's a really nice choice. We'll see. If there's clearly a timeline. I mean, oh, what the Jesus! Sorry, I take it all back. He's going for an Ava. Yeah! First game of the day, and we got Brumbar versus Ava. Now, it looks like the Brumbar does immediately run into a telemine, so that's problems. I believe that was a telemine, right? So it is a bit stricken right now. The Brumbar just flumping these Brits out of the west of the map as well. Looks like Caesar at 172 tickets, about to be back under the clock. He was stable for a while there, but it was not long enough. And we need more engineers. Oh no, we've got 2 squads, so we need the engineers to get to the Cromwell. Damn. Or we could use vehicle crew repairs, actually. Only 70 munitions. Probably don't want to waste that. So, okay. Tommy's making good progress over here. Oh, but there's still a machine gun on Overwatch in this building. So unlikely to be able to get to grips with that. Would love to just be able to ride the Ava over there and just like dustbin that machine gun out of that building. That would be lovely. But not an option right now. The Cromwell's still struggling to get Okay, finally he goes for the tank commander on the Cromwell. There we go. Alright, now the Cromwell is fighting fit. Now it's got that buff to accuracy. Ava projectiles are so fast, they're basically hit scan. Yeah, and the thing is that you don't get much warning, because like the turret just turns and then it just fires. It's not like the Storm Tiger, where you can see that barrel slowly winding into position, and the unit has to be stationary for a little bit while that happens, and you get that really telegraphed period of awareness that can, precaution you that it's about to flump one of your units with 388mm of explosive death. No, the Ava just rolls up and does this. Oh, no, he cancels it. He cancels it because there's Ostrich move. Okay, the Ava just rolls up. Oh, he has to move the AT gun. Yeah. The Ava isn't locked in with the Pat gun. The Pat gun is locked in with the Ava. Yeah. But look how smart Jimmy 890 is taking these fights. It's looking so nice. The Panzer IV finally takes a shot from a Pat gun, and then the Cromwell creeps up. But again, it's still trading well. This Cromwell's still not Vet 1. The Panzer nearly halfway to Vet 2. Ugh. And even this Churchill... Oh! Okay, we've had a disconnect. That's such a shame. Oh! That was like a really good game! No! Can't believe it! Well, Jimmy 890, his PC has crashed, or his internet has died, or the game has crashed. Something has gone awry. Oh, and for whatever reason, Hoy Jimmy 890, who was winning that game, has disconnected from the session. That's a terrible shame. But these things do happen. We cannot rue too long upon it. Luckily for us, Company of Heroes 2 provides us with infinite entertainment in the form of additional games that we can cast. So we're going to go on and do that. Yeah. It was almost certainly a Spugblat. Is that the Russian for it? The Spugblat. Sika Spugblat. That's the Russian for it's the Russian for Bugsplat. So yeah, that's Stugblat. I like that. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Then we've got Habibi and Angry Dutchman. Oh wow, we've got no good players essentially. So all right. All right. Well, we're going to jump into this Langreskaya game, but before we do, let's just take a moment. Magpie wants you to tune into my evening casting on Wednesday and Friday. That will be starting at 700 hours GMT. A little bit of a schedule mix-up. I think casting at 1700 hours means that my UK audience can tune in because their work will be done or more done, and they can sort of tune in when they get back home from work. And it also lets the US crowd tune in a bit, but it's still an accessible time for the European and sort of Russian. Because obviously I have such global appeal. I have so many audiences I need to worry about. Oh my god, it's just like so hard being Magpie. No, seriously though, it's just I just feel like I think it's like a better time to cast because more people can tune in, and also we get to look at different players as well. And also I feel like also a lot of the best European players are not playing at midday. I mean, who really sits and plays video games at midday? Not many people. But it's more of an evening activity, isn't it? So I'm hoping that we'll be able to catch both some of the American players who are up and some of the European players who are playing at a more usual time. So there we go. Hey, Magiston. So yeah, that is the schedule. That's going to be the schedule. That's how it looks. Alright, enough of that. Let's get back to Company of Heroes 2. Bonk. Spawning in the north on Langreskaya, playing as the Vermac piece, it is Habibi. And spawning in the south, playing as the United States Forces, it's going to be Ziva's The Angry Dutchman. Looks like Angry Dutchman going to go ahead and play a recon style this game, which I approve of. This is one of the best USF commanders. Let's see, it is basically Airborne Doctrine with a twist, kind of-ish. You still can get Pathfinders, you still can get Paratroopers, you can still do things with those units, but you don't have access to tech-independent machine gun and anti-tank gun, which is one of the best things about Airborne Doctrine. Instead of that, you give up those strengths, and you get the Greyhound, which is awesome. And you also get the cluster bombing strike, which is pretty useful. And you get the airdropped combat group. So this is the one where you get the paratroopers, but it comes with a pack howitzer, so you get a tech-free pack howitzer. So it's like you trade tech-free machine gun and anti-tank gun, but you get tech-free howitzer and the Greyhound. And of course you get the raid tactics, which we seldom see, but can be useful. And we've already got Pathfinders coming out here, so those INR Pathfinders going to be crack-a-lacking with the Springfield rifle, looking to bust some German skulls with that one. Pretty much the closest thing USF will ever get to having a sniper rifle. But, hey, Creative. Isn't it just, man, what a shame that our first game of the day was Brumbar, Churchill, Ava, and an incredibly even-matched affair on Lost Glider. And then we had a disconnect. What a shame. These things do happen, though. Such is life. And these two players going to be getting underway here. Just like Angry Dutchman, getting a good flank with these riflemen. Forces the MG42 out of town. US forces essentially getting everything that they want on the map. Now, Habibi, we took a punt on this game because there were really no sort of top tier, no games between two top tier players that I recognise. So Habibi, I believe, a newcomer to the channel. So welcome aboard, friend, and I hope that this is going to be a good showcase of your abilities. I do feel a little bit bad sometimes when I jump into a game with a player I've never cast before and they just get massacred, and I'm just like, well, this player could be one of the best players ever, but everybody has games where you look terrible. RTS is a harsh bitch, and sometimes, no matter how good you are, you will get bunker rushed. or you will get, you know, just curb stomped in Company of Heroes. There are no real super turbo cheesy builds. I mean, there are cheesy builds, but there are no super cheesy builds that can just end the game in 5 minutes, like in other RTSs, where you're just like, well, damn, I'm dead. Like, literally 100%, they're in my base, and I have lost this game. Kind of, you know, in StarCraft, that can happen from, like, the 2nd or 3rd minute, and in most other RTSs, like Deserts of Karak, you can totally lose the game within 3 minutes. You can absolutely die in 3 minutes. 100%. Easily. But Company of Heroes is actually quite difficult to literally die in less than 10 minutes. But anyway, you can still catch a bad game from a player, and we'll see.
Heavy machine gun team, ready for orders.
Crush them!
A capture point is under attack.
Finally, Habibi able to strike back, getting the MG42 into a nice forward position, taking some smart fights, forcing a number of US units to have to fall back. KAR-98Ks cracking from these grenadiers, and able to get out from under the clock and grab fuel and just kind of push up. Actually, wait, I think he always had fuel, actually, now I think about it. Fuel was never taken, was it? So, yep, that's some nice work there for Habibi. But the US forces will be back and very angry here in a second. 50 cal is done off the back of that Lieutenant Tech. I imagine we will probably see... Let me just check. Oh no, he is actually going for Mechanized Platoon Command Post. Huh. Interesting. Interesting that we're going for the... do you need Mechanized Command Post for the Greyhound? I don't think you do, right? You don't need Mechanized Command Post for the Greyhound. Somebody help me out. Somebody with actual knowledge of USF forces, which I cannot claim to have. Tell me, do you need tech? Do you need the tech for the Greyhound, or can you just call it in? I would like to know. No, you don't. You just need the command points. All right, that's what I thought. Cool. All right, so it is interesting then that Angry Dutchman is going to tech into the Stuart rather than wait for the Greyhound call in, which will be a bit later. The Stuart will definitely be out before he has 4 command points, or at least on the queue before he has 4 command points. Probably out before. So I feel like he's in quite a... Whoa, loses the lieutenant. No. Might lose the lieutenant. Okay, lieutenant going to sneak away there. Lieutenant with a Zook, no less, going to sneak away there. So that's a lucky break there, perhaps for Angry Dutchman. Definitely some squad wipeable shots getting rolled there. And it's going to be Sniper 222. Say what? Habibi. Maybe bringing some spice here. Maybe bringing some spice. Stuart, indeed, on the queue. It is. Is it just me, or is it weird to go for a Stuart? Is it weird to spend the money teching for a Stuart when you could just save the fuel and get the Greyhound? Is getting a Stuart and a Greyhound a left field but maybe valid strat? Interesting point, Mdoranki. Yeah, that actually does sound pretty cool, to be honest, doesn't it? Well, we'll see if that's the way Angry Dutchman wants to take this. I'm keen for seeing that, but here's the thing. I mean, they do different things, yeah, but not very different. Not exceptionally different. And I feel like most of the things you could get done with Stuart Greyhound, you could get done with Double Greyhound. But we'll see. Creative name, what's left field? Left field means like unusual, unorthodox, not what you usually see, sort of controversial choice, that sort of thing. It means like the less trodden path, for sure. Or perhaps an unexpected way of doing something. That's what left field means. I suppose Langris is looking a bit purple in the background there, isn't it? Yeah, this is Neo Sunset Langris. This is a new mod for Company of Heroes that I'm running to make it in keeping with the synthwave stylings on my channel. Yeah, we're running. This is Neo Sunset Langris. If you look very carefully, some of these grenadiers are actually carrying synth keyboards instead of rifles. They're going to start any second. My god, the American player just got torn up there. Sorry, I missed that. Lost some riflemen. Greyhound as a second light vehicle is kind of common. Okay, creative name, but then why not go double Greyhound? Is it just the timing when they come out? I want a synthwave skin for my tanks. God damn, that would be so sick. I would love a synthwave skin for my tanks. That would be the best.
Supply line just got cut off.
222 is going to get duped here by the Stuart. And possibly these Grenadiers as well. He could come in for those. There's nothing to stop them. And the sniper is on the chopping block. Oh, no. He's not going to get the Grenadiers. The reinforcing model coming out at the split second there. Needed to avoid a squad wipe, but... Yeah, okay, so he... Oh, the Telemines! Oh! Oh, ho, ho! Man. I see you there racing with your Stuart, trying to avoid the speeding fines. Make sure you don't get killed by the Telemines. That's rough. Oh well. What have I done with... Okay. Wow. Well, the American player is in a... Here comes the Greyhound, but like, this is a super rough start now. This is like, ouch. He's lost a Rifleman squad. He's lost the Stuart. And what was a great start for the Angry Dutchman, it's kind of turning a bit sour here, as Habibi, despite the loss of the 222 and a very dangerous-looking dive from a Stuart into his base, kind of looking fine here. What? This sniper has not been healed. Okay, that's brave. Oh, God! Yeah, immediately has to fall that back. Oh, he's even taking some fire. The focus fire was there from Angry Dutchman. He saw that sniper. That was pretty cool. Or at least it certainly looked like it. Excuse me, sorry. I think Connix, surely of anybody, you would know if you're a mod here. When you want to go double Greyhound, you kind of have to go double Officer to get them out into decent timing, which makes the airdrop pretty hard to get. Why do you have to go double Officer, though? I don't understand. Sorry. I'm just curious. Oh, I see. Okay, because you can't get more than 2 riflemen. Okay, interesting. It could be hay fever, yeah. I mean, I don't normally really suffer a lot from hay fever. But there is a lot of pollen in the air, and summer is really just getting started here in the UK, so there's always a little adjustment period, isn't there? Whoa! Oh my god! Hang on, what? Can the Greyhound call in artillery? I'm so bad. What the hell called in that artillery strike? Hang on, what? I'm really bad at casting this game. Somebody help me out. What called in that? Observation Pathfinders? Oh shit! Okay, well that's amazing. Is that a vet ability? Oh my god. Well that's good. 140 munitions, it's expensive, but Jesus Christ, it's accurate. They obliterated that weapon team. Nice. He loses the Greyhound though, so it's not all going Angry Dutchman's way. Does summer ever start here? Yeah, absolutely summer starts here. Actually, this has been the hottest year ever since records began. We have had more than double almost the sunshine that we are used to having in spring so far, and this summer continues to be hot. The last couple of years, we've had almost Spanish summers. Like England in the summer now looks like a yellow and brown, parched, barren wasteland. Like it is that, you know, that when the grass goes all just dry and dead and crackly. Like that is what our last few summers have been like. We get long days of harsh, direct sunlight now. Global warming's a hell of a thing or something. I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, we do get summers, and yes, our summer has started. It is very warm here now, which is nice, actually. So hot, we're digging out all of our shorts. Yeah, absolutely we are. So we got Captain Tech is here. Let's just quickly check the tech for the Axis player. No sign of Battle Phase 2, actually. Wow, we're like 13 minutes in. Okay, one has to imagine that that'll be coming soon. And Habibi, with a scoreline advantage at the moment, I don't mind where the composition is. Both of these two players certainly sort of have taken many hits. They have these two players have not been playing sort of a risk-free style. They have been exchanging haymakers, and there have been grievous losses on both sides. Many units have been wiped this game. But when the dust settles, I feel like we're kind of in a place of balance. Look at the top left, look at the top right. These armies are an approximately even match for each other. 2 machine guns for the American player is very nice. But there's 3 grenadier squads and a sniper here. So Habibi with tools to work with as well. And going to be going up to 2 MG42s here in a second. So that's actually very nice. Oh wow, this MG42 has actually been donated to the USF. Okay. Oh yeah, that was the MG42 that got wiped out by the artillery, wasn't it? Nasty stuff indeed. So, alright, German sniper, gonna have to micro your heart here. Oh, okay, are we paying attention? Because here comes some more artillery. It looks like it's the cluster bombs this time. That's actually the noise that they make. That is historically accurate. They go. Not actually finding their mark, though. Habibi well on top of that one. And gonna get the fallback on his precious weapon team well before those cluster mines start impacting. The cluster mines for 110 munitions are a very cool ability, aren't they? It is a blanket of death. Yeah, oh god, A-game, welcome back, man. Oh god, yeah, we got to Churchill Ava versus Brumbar in our first game of the day, and it was an awesome, finely balanced game. And then Hoy Jimmy, who was winning at the time, crashed. So it was a super anticlimactic end to just a very promising beginning. But such is life. We got to take the knocks. We got to roll with them punches. Just, you know, when you cast off the live game ladder, that is a risk. So unfortunately, that's what happened there. But hopefully it's not going to happen again. Hopefully that's our one crash for the week or whatever. Crouch giving us some trouble here. God damn, see, this is why I can't play as Americans. Those voice files, man, they're just like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Alright, what? The rifle grenade! Oh god. Oh god. Wow, was that the Pathfinders? Yeah, the Pathfinders get gibbed. Oof. It's cool to use those Pathfinders cloaked. Ah, never mind. Yeah, not the best of timing on that comment. Emma Duranke, but yeah. Yeah, that was a hench rifle grenade. And is Habibi pulling ahead in this game? Oh, perhaps. Let's just check the tech once again. Battle Phase 2 is done, but no support armor core. Okay, Habibi, I like where you're at. Because I don't think a medium tank is mandatory here. You haven't seen major tech from your American opponent, and you have inflicted numerous squad wipes on them, so I don't think you're in any danger of getting snowballed by Shermans. And indeed, even if a Sherman does pop up, you can just grab another pack gun, and on Langris you're probably fine with double pack gun for a time at least. So I'm hoping Habibi here is going to be skipping to Battle Phase 3, going for the Heavy Panzer Corps and taking a scarier than Panzer IV choice. That's what I'm hoping. MG42 in a lovely position. Artillery barrage getting called in. That's the cluster bombing run. So the MG42 packs up and will just about get out of harm's way. Ugh! Getting severely splashed by those cluster bombs. Which also nearly razed this building, which has grenadiers in, but it looks like the MG42 will get out safely. These grenadiers going to be fighting tooth and nail, much off veterancy, LMG42s adding considerable DPS, and they will curb the tide of American aggression. And the Angry Dutchman is going to GG. Wow. Okay, I feel like the Angry Dutchman just felt beaten there. They probably were in a very bad spot, but I don't think that was a 0% to win. But I also don't think that this was a crash like we had in the last game. I honestly think that Angry Dutchman thought that they were done for. Perhaps, I mean, this anti-tank gun just finished, and I reckon in response to what had just happened, Angry Dutchman probably went to cancel that, and it just missed, and then they were just like, screw this, and just left. Because I don't think you want a second anti-tank gun here at all. You are losing to an opponent who has no vehicles, and you are desperately struggling for infantry fights. So I think that anti-tank gun needed to be cancelled, and I think it not being cancelled probably was just like a, hey, you know what, I'm just going to jump into the next game sort of moment there for Angry Dutchman. So there we go. These things do happen. And I'll be loading us in here to another game. As Yeah, a couple of short games so far. Unfortunately, one unfortunate because of a crash, and the other a pretty nice win there for Habibi. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning out in chat. Your support and being present here and watching means a lot to me. It's really cool that we're doing so well with the streaming. Oh, here's a player I've not cast for a while. Cool. Yeah, we'll jump into this one. It's a bit of a punt, but we'll jump into this one. So yeah, for those of you, we're up to like 20 viewers at the moment. Let's just run over the schedule because it will be a bit different this week. So here we go. Looks like we're going to be streaming today, now, obviously. Well done, you made it. And then the rest of the week, we're going to be streaming in the evening. So that's 1700 hours GMT. If you want to join me, that would be great. Just a slightly different casting window. Hopefully means that we can take a look at some US players, and also hopefully means that those people who are working in the UK and in Europe can sort of tune in perhaps when their day's work is done. 8-minute timer. Wow, an 8-minute timer. Christ, we must have got this game when it was really hot off the press. All right, well, there's going to be 8 minutes till the start of the next game. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to put the kettle on, stretch my legs, give my voice a quick rest. And I will be back in 8 minutes. So that is at exactly on the hour. I will be back on the hour, friends. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Don't touch that dial because this is the 1950s and you're all listening to me on an analog wireless set. Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked. And I'll be back in just 8 minutes for some more live casting games. Catch you all then. Greetings, what is up, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. The sun is still shining and the Magpie is still casting. Coming to you guys right now with a fantastic, hopefully, game of Company of Heroes 2 featuring whoosh, spawning in the north, playing as the Vermac pieces, using the Ostrapan defensive doctrine once again today. It is going to be Elpern, who we've seen be very strong in recent times on the channel. Spawning in the south, playing as the Soviet forces using the Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics Commander. It is going to be eternal Korean characters, who, according to, I think, Connix in chat, is a Russian player. So there we go. Sedgehammer! What's going on, friend? Good to see you in chat there. You stayed up all night. Well, what time is it where you are? I mean, so yeah, I mean, well done for making it. It may interest you to know, Sedgehammer, that on Wednesday and Friday I'll be streaming at 1700 GMT, so that's like a bit later. It's like 5 hours later. So if it's 8 AM where you are now, that means I'll be streaming at what? 10, about 1 where you are now? Is that right? No. Yeah, at 1. Or somewhere around there. So it might be more convenient for you to tune in on Wednesday and Thursday as well. But well done for staying up all night. Glad you made it. Hopefully this game is going to be really good. A deserving reward for your stamina endurance staying up all night to catch the stream. Yeah. Right, okay. So, alright. Somebody help me understand this commander. Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics. Alright. I often see it on rosters and I occasionally see it picked. And I feel like I don't really get, like, what the appeal is. I understand that these are not all terrible abilities. Like, Guards Rifle, Guards are amazing. I have no problem with Guards. The Conscript Assault package, okay, but I never see people use it, even when it's an option. The ML20, not seen one built for a long while. Hopefully it's okay, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. IL2 Stonvik attacks, yeah, that's good. And the KV1, it's better than it's ever been, but it's, like, still not great. I mean, it's just an okay tank. So, I don't really understand this commander, if I'm honest. Like, just why? As we have a fight here being taken by both players. Nice big fight as I just finish this shake. Oh, that was a tasty shake. Perhaps I do underestimate the KV1. Perhaps I do. I do understand that it's good, because it's actually not too slow now. And, like, I know that the gun is reasonable. Oh, I can't even see how much it costs right now. Okay, I actually cannot check the cost because he doesn't actually have the correct tech building yet, and it won't let me click on those tabs. But isn't it like 140 fuel or something? Seems like an SU-85 commander, so it should be right up my alley. I cannot argue with that, A-game. Yeah, I literally cannot argue with that. Fair enough. Yep, alright, A-game, you sold it to me. Ooh, Strumming Bird. Nice one, man. New laptop. Good for you. You know what, actually? Okay, so let's talk about... Oh, cut-off, though. We'll just talk about this. Nice cut-off. Elpern coming in deep with the Ostrapan. Really good to see. Yeah, okay. You see, okay, right. What I often say about the SU-85, as I'm sure you've all heard me say, is that the SU-85 does very well with an ablative vehicle in front of it. It doesn't really matter what that vehicle is, just so long as there's some kind of roadblock that your opponent's units have to come through if they want to get to your SU-85, and then all the time that they're getting through whatever it is, whether it's a T-34 or a KV-1 or whatever, the SU-85 is just taking shots, and your supporting infantry hopefully are chipping in as well. And that makes life very hard for your opponent. Well, the KV-1 actually is a fairly optimal package for that purpose, because it has good armor, it has a decent HP pool. My only concern is it is more expensive than a T-34, and price is a factor when you are basically buying an ablative unit, so... But having said that, yeah, 2 KV-1s with an SU-85 behind seems like a strong foundation for a composition of a Soviet list, doesn't it? That does seem strong, Ebedaranki, I like it. So, alright, as this game goes on, I'm going to talk about something which is not strictly related to Company of Heroes, but it's something that I've taken an interest in just now, and but then I hate doing Microsoft's advertising for them. So I was going to talk about the new consoles that are coming, because it is related to video games, and even if we're not console gamers, it is foolish to ignore what's going on with consoles, because it's connected to video gaming. It shapes what video gaming is, and it's you should be interested in what's happening with consoles, even if you're not a console gamer. That's my opinion. And right now, there's a really interesting time because, you know, the new generation of consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever they're calling it, stupid name, have just been revealed. The PS5 news is the most exciting gaming news in years. A-Game, please tell me why that is. I am curious to know why you think the PS5 is super exciting. Go for it, buddy. I'm just like, honestly, I don't know anything about the PS5 really, except that it looks freaking weird. It seems like Sony headhunted Microsoft's like product design team, and Microsoft headhunted Sony's product design team, because the new Xbox looks like a Sony product, and the new PS5 looks like a Microsoft product. It's going to push games in a weird direction in a way that hasn't happened in several generations. Well, that sounds fun, Datton, but how? Why? What is it about it? It's like 4 utterly new technologies going mainstream. Infinite triangle count technology, insane SSD technology, default ray tracing, default ultra-fast SSDs, new sound technology, ray tracing, which means that the games will be built with those things in mind. Alright, colour me excited. That all sounds very cool, I will grant you. That all does actually sound very cool. Infinite triangle count. What it uses is it actually uses a micro quantum singularity to generate a micro universe, which using the infinite fractal possibilities of that universe, we actually can generate infinite polygons for the first time in a PS5. That's I'm well ahead of this technology. I'm all on top of it. I'm more of a perennial rectangle man myself. That's funny. Games are always made with the lowest spec in mind, but now the lowest spec is going to be ray tracing and SSDs. Exclamation mark, asterisk. The lowest tech is going to be the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, I take your point. It uses pixels to query triangles, so it has like 1 triangle per pixel and correct lighting. It's honestly like black magic. Alright, A-Game, that all actually does legitimately sound very exciting. So, I mean, I was quite... Sorry, I've not been paying attention to this game at all. Because we're just warming up, and but we've got guards on the field, and Ostripan, Panzer Grenadier... Yeah, so it's the standard Ostripan, Panzer Grenadier build at the moment versus conscripts and guards, so this has been going pretty rough for Eternal. But I had a look at the design of the Xbox One, or whatever it's called, the Xbox stupid name. God, Microsoft could really use somebody who could name products, because they haven't had that person for decades now, it feels like. But literally from a thermal efficiency point of view, the new Xbox looks really cool, because it is essentially not a jet engine, but it is a jet tunnel. Like, it's just like... And the air gets sucked in at the bottom and then blasted out the top. That sounds very thermally efficient. And it's got a fat heatsink in it. I mean massive, that goes right through the assembly. So that's very clever as well. And apparently, they split the motherboard on the Xbox. So there's half on one side and half on the other. So the thermal load is actually balanced, which basically means that it can... I mean... Literally, from a thermal efficiency point of view, and when I build PCs, which is not very often, but when I do build PCs, that's the viewpoint I come from. It's all about thermal efficiency. If you look at the inside of my PC, it is thermally efficient. I have never seen this PC run above like 43 degrees centigrade, no matter what game I'm running or how I've overclocked it, which is never that hard, to be honest. I don't really overclock it a lot, but yeah. This is a thermally efficient beast. And yeah, that's just what I look for in machines. So I did like the look of the new Xbox. From a design and thermal efficiency point of view, it's really cool. They've actually just done some cool stuff. Datton, what bothers me is the game side still not having backside buttons. On which? The PS5 and the Xbox. Man, Elpern is just manhandling this Soviet player, by the way, at the moment. It's gross. Like, the scoreline is like semi-close, but nothing else is. He's been gibbing Soviet units. Yeah, you're right, Datton. I actually used to have an Xbox Elite controller, which has 4 paddles for your little fingers and your ring fingers. And I really liked it. Yeah, A-Game. Go across to the new Xbox Series X website. There we go, I remembered the name. It's Series X. And have a look at the design of that thing. There's like an expanded 3D view that you can like move around and have a look at the components. And the way they've done it, there's a huge heatsink block on the side and then a massive actual physical heatsink that slices through the middle of the architecture, which every component is clomped onto. And then the way the airflow comes through the bottom and then shoots out the top, that is so thermally efficient. The whole console is a cooling tower. Like, I've never seen that done before in a PC or anything. It's very exciting. For me, because I'm a nerd. I just want to put on thermal goggles and watch it. Like yeah, the PS5 controller has a lot of problems. You guys, actually, in between, maybe after this, I'll take off my webcam. I actually have wall-mounted my PlayStation controller. I have a hook for it on the wall so that the triggers don't get pressed when I put it down. That's how annoying that piece of design is. Yeah. Alright, so this is a Soviet player who has finally busted out onto the map. We're making ground in East. But Axis forces get onto the cutoff again. You've got to push with the engineers. Stop him cutting this off. Stop him cutting this off. Yes, that's better. Oh god, but now we have to hold with just these engineers. It's never going to happen. So he's going to lose his cutoff again. Oh no, actually he might win this because these pioneers are actually in cover. You have to focus the pioneers though. Oh no. No, he's not going to win that. Darn. Oh, well I feel for you, Eternal, because the cutoff... Oh god, it's a double cutoff because these Panzergrens got this. So rough. Oh no, have DPs finished on your guards? Oh no, he was never able to buy the DP LMGs for the guards either. So they are not at maximum efficiency against all these infantry squads either. No income at all is the yikes, Datton. You are quite right. Yeah, this does look grim, Magiston. This is looking worse than grim. Oh, Stug E! Nice. He did pick up one of the Ostrobin squads, though. He did pick up an Ostrobin squad. So, there is a silver lining here. And, like, the scoreline damage is not there. So if this Soviet player stabilizes, and it looks like they probably will, they're going to be okay. The trouble is, everything they do from now on is got to be done with all their shit exploding. And that's tough, because now there's a Stug E here, and there's no answer for this Stug E. I mean, there's kind of guards with PTRSs, but that does not a Stug E defeat. So, and to be honest, if I'm Elpern right now, I think just get the second Stug E, pile the pressure on. Pile the pressure on. Because there's no mechanized armor Campanile. So, I mean, what's your opponent going to do? Build an SU-76? I mean, that's... If your opponent's option is build SU-76, that's great. You take that line of play. Because I don't think Zisgun is super smart into double Stug E. I mean, it's okay if that's all you've got, but I mean, if the problem is double Stug E, a Zisgun is a very risky proposal for a counter because it just can die to the two Stug Es so horribly easily. And if you ever lose that Zisgun, your opponent will probably destroy it, or even worse, take it, and that's horrible. So, oh my god, look at the range on the Stug E. It's such a good unit! It's so good! Alright, he's going to get it with the anti-vehicle grenade, but even that is not too bad, to be honest. I mean... The Stug E is relatively unfazed. It will just continue flumping you. It doesn't actually need to be mobile right now because there's no credible threat to its life, so yeah. Soviets are quite a late game faction, yeah. That's true, Strommingbird. Especially with this commander. Yeah, that's fair. What do you guys make of Soviet defensive doctrine these days? Because I actually reckon that's a really good one nowadays. With now that it gets anti-tank Overwatch, he nearly built an SU-76, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. Double Stug E is here. This is what I'm talking about. A T-70? Really? Not enough. This actually just represents a crippling delay of tech, I think. You're building a T-70 at 14 minutes, 10 seconds. That looks terrible. And it's just going to delay any real answer to these Stug Es by 70 fuel. So I don't like this T-70. Why double nade the Stug? I actually don't think that was a mistake, Emidoranki. I mean, I believe it to be a mistake, but I honestly think that Eternal is scrambling so hard right now that they're just like, yeah, put some more damage on the Stug. Try. Help. I mean, they're scrambling so desperately. They built an SU-76, then cancelled it, then built a T-70. So, I mean, this is going to be pretty tough. I think the Stugs would kill an Su-76 really quickly, yeah. I don't think that's a good fight for the Su-76. But if you kite with the Su-76, I mean, it can be done. If you have some room to work with, the Stugs actually have quite a hard time hitting a moving target, a very hard time hitting a moving target. And when the Stugs come for you, the Su-76 actually is effective at the peak of its range, whereas the Stugs, the travel time on those shells is so slow, they're never going to hit the Su-76 at max range. So the Stugs have to come into you, and then you can kite with the Su-76. It's not good, no, but I'm saying it is possibly doable. It might be playable if you're very desperate. Yeah, the 76 should win that fight, yeah, but you'd still rather just save for a T-34, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If that was an option, wouldn't you rather just... Did he lose the T-70? Oh. Well, that's game. Well, I missed the T-70 dying off camera, and that's game. Absolutely. Wow, what a one-sided stomp fest, really. Telemine, that explains. That's a way that you can lose a T-70 in record fast time, so... That'll do it. That was the right call to quit. That was a tough game. To be honest, though, if you were in a tournament, the scoreline was still quite close. You can definitely stabilise from there. I mean, if you were actually playing for money, I would definitely have stayed in there. I mean, yeah, it was probably the right call to quit, but still. So we've got Skeletron and some kanji. That's a quite good kanji, though. On Novigrad outskirts. Actually, sorry, here, let me bring you guys in so that you can see the choices here. So it's Skeletron versus kanji on Novigrad outskirts. That is 6 minutes away. We've got CCR versus Sturmtiger Gyap on Langraskaya. That's likely to be a fine game. And we've got Elpern versus the Angry Dutchman on Crossroads. So 3 good choices there. What do you guys reckon? Give me some help here. If you feel like casting your opinion in here, type 1 for Skeletron versus Kanji on Novigrad outskirts. Type 2 for CCR versus Sturmtiger Gyap on Langraskaya. Type 3 for Elpern versus Angry Dutchman on Crossroads. Looks like Emma Duranke wants to watch the Langraskaya game, and I wouldn't mind that one. Anybody else out there got any preferences before I just pick one of these games? Now's your chance to make your voices heard. Let's see. Okay, I was trying to find the South Park song. It's democracy in action. Da, 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 da. But I couldn't find it in time, so okay. Alright, well, based on the fact that the other two have got massive delays, I'm going to jump in and just cast this UKF game, because Emma Duranke has voted for it as well. So there we go. Wow! Look at CC Art going with no Ostrapen. Are you sure, bro? I suppose he's got mobile defensive doctrine, but that's not a true Ostrapen commander because you can't call them in until 3 CPs, so you have to be doing something else before then. Here we go. Spawning in the south, playing as the Wehrmacht pieces, without defensive or Ostrapen doctrine, seemingly, it is CCR 03. And he's going to be going for Elite Troops Doctrine, no less. There we go. Spawning in the north as the United Kingdom forces. It is going to be Sturmtiger Gyap. So here we go. Hey, Anti-Morale, what's going on, friend? Welcome to chat. Yep, a couple of new players for us to cast here. Well, I'd say new. Obviously, we've cast them in the past. But a fresh chance to examine their form on the ladder today. Retro Wave Langraskaya strikes again. There it is. Neo Sunset Langraskaya. Midnight Laser Langraskaya. I'm struggling to think of other, like, retro wave names that we could call this. So that's a Bren carrier then. So the style of Sturmtiger Gyap, perhaps slightly more conventional and a little different to what we're used to seeing from Caesar, who was our UKF player early on. And I gotta be honest, I seriously think that there's like scope to see more from that Caesar-esque style of UKF play. I think that's a really sick way of playing. I like it because it so closely mirrors what Wehrmacht do, but it's an allied faction. And I think that's really intriguing. So, anyway, Bren Carrier going to be seen off for now. MG42, pretty good if it catches the carrier under its arc. A Maschinengewehr team is awaiting orders. Brain Carrier here gonna waste these Pioneers. They're gonna have to be forced back. Double Pioneer, double MG42 here. Okay, CCR. Hang on a second. He's playing techless. Sorry, I just assumed because this wasn't an Ostraben build that we were just going to see an infantry company. Of course, Wehrmacht players don't have to do that, and he will have stormtroopers as this game moves on. So, okay, CCR, I see you out here. Now here come some Pioneers. Are we going to see some tech? Well, we'll see in a second. No, Battle Phase 1 is done. So, I imagine it's going to be a Leichter Mechanized company. It is! Ooh, this is pretty interesting. He always does that. Okay, creative name, thanks. I very rarely cast CC Art, it seems. It's been a long time since I cast CC Art, so... Okay, cool. I think too often when I see Wehrmacht players... Well, not too often, but sometimes I see Wehrmacht players try to skip tech, and they try to skip the Leichter Mechanized company, and they just die for it. If you're going to skip any tech, I still think you need the Leichter Mechanized company, because it just turns out if you don't have access to pack guns, you can just die to things. So, Leichter Mechanized company coming down here, and we're going to have some sort of composition involving Stormtroopers and Panzer Grenadiers with Pioneers and MG42s. That's how it goes. Yeah, Connix, okay. I mean, I guess I wouldn't counter an SU-76 with a Stug E. A Stug G, maybe. That's pretty good. But I'm sure you meant the other one. 222, going to be leading out the way here. That makes sense, of course. The autocannon on the 222 is quite potent. The Stug G is trash. Whew, hot take. Don't know about that. And some boys from Wales here, the Royal Engineers. Gonna be on the way. I think I give that camo a solid B+, maybe even an A, actually, for appropriateness on the map. Does the SU-76 outrange the Stug G? I didn't know that, Connix. Fair enough. Oh god, he loses a Pioneer squad. Oh yeah, there it happened right on the screen. God damn it. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, we didn't want to lose those, obviously. Well, I didn't know that. I honestly thought they had the same range. Thanks, guys. Dropping the knowledge bomb. That's very interesting. Yeah, fair enough. It absolutely does, yeah. And given that it's actually cheaper than the Stug as well, I can see how that's a matchup you don't want to get involved with then. So even with the loss of the Pioneers, things are looking okay because the 222 is very powerful. It is going to be an AEC though, so this is pretty much the conventional non-Caesar style of playing UKF in the early game. It is sort of optional Bren carrier, but we often see it. Into the AEC, because the AEC is just a nice strong unit. And so, wow, Panzer Shreks are done on these Panzer Grenadiers. CCR showing perhaps a new route for understanding Wehrmacht, at least for me. So it's very interesting. I'm not convinced at all about this composition, if I'm honest. I look in the top left and I see something that's very fragile. There's a lot of ways that things can go wrong for that constellation of units. So that's a problem. Yeah, I mean, like, so Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Shreks leading the way there is just, like, interesting, because they immediately find themselves met with a concave of infantry. But hang on now, suddenly the AEC springs forwards, gets hit by double Shrek, has to pop smoke and get out, so they do find some value. That is okay. What a weird game. Well, it's a weird game from the Wehrmacht side of things, at least.
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines. The enemy is taking our territory.
It's kind of amazing to me that the UKF player... oh no, I suppose, yeah, no, there is a massive scoreline advantage. Sorry, I just got confused because the scores are the wrong way around. Actually, no, they're kind of even the right way around. Okay, I don't know why I was confused, but it's not amazing to me then. Yeah, so the UKF player does have an 88 ticket lead. That's kind of what I'd expect based on what I've seen so far. 8 minutes and an 88 ticket lead is a nice rounding of numbers there. 222 will find the Bren carrier here, but the AEC is actually occupied elsewhere, getting the kill on an MG42 squad. Yikes. But he gets picked off by the Panzer Shreks. Okay, wow. So all kinds of value being exchanged here, as the Bren carrier will go down to the 222 as well. Oh no, Tommy squad on the chopping block as well. To 222 would love to pick up that one. And the Stormtrooper's going to pop out of a building as well. How is this Tommy alive? He has to die. This is definitely a squad wipe. This has to be a squad wipe. No. Okay, come on, 222. We're going to get this guy. With negative cover. There we go. We got him. Alright, with those Tommies being picked off, I mean, CCR is just about finding enough to make these things okay.
6-pounder anti-tank gun finished. Enemy threatening a capture point.
So, okay. Alright, somehow CCR is alive.
Supply line's been cut.
Kind of crazy.
A capture point.
And now Stormtroopers are here. Are they solid enough to base your infantry composition around, though? Because they are going to be the mainstay of this infantry roster right now. So they have MP40s, is that right? No, they don't. Oh, they have rifles. Okay. Oh, so they start with rifles and then you can upgrade them with MP40s. Ah, that's what's happening. All right, interesting. And that costs an unspecified amount. And then G43s are the other option, which costs 60. Okay. All right. Oh, you can give them Shreks. All right. I see that they could be the foundation for an interesting composition. And they do camo, right? Sorry, I'm keeping half an eye on what's going on in chat. I mean, you're welcome to your opinion on the players, Connex, but keep it civil in chat, please. Thanks everybody else for encouraging hugs. Whether or not CCR is, in your opinion, not that great, I just judge players based on the games in front of me, and I've not cast one of his for a while. And it is always interesting to look at all the players who are in the meta, certainly when in an RTS of this size. So here we find ourselves casting CCR and Sturmtiger Gyap. And CCR, yeah, things have been rough. Taken some unit losses, trailing by 100 tickets. Not the end of the world, though. We've survived to get Stormtroopers out. We've got the weapon upgrades that we wanted. We've taken out the AAC and the Bren carrier and a Tommy squad. And 100 tickets is absolutely not insurmountable. So we'll see where this game's going to go. The foundations are set. And, the anti-vehicle grenade coming down from these boys from Wales. Very nice there. Looks like the 222 going to try and sneak away. You're not going to... Okay, yeah, there we go. He gets the KO blow with the 6-pounder. And it's going to be a UKF sniper here for Gyap. Okay. Wow.
Enemy
Wow.
causing trouble.
Ugh, did you see that? His freaking legs fell off. He got sniped so hard his legs fell off. Ugh. Grace. Oh, goodness me. Oh, that's a squad wipe. That sniper immediately securing brutal damages against this Wehrmacht player. I think if you lose the Panzer Grenadiers with the Shreks, you just die though, right? I think this game might be over now. We'll see. That looks terrible. That was your best squad, and not a part of your composition you could be losing there as the Wehrmacht player. Now we're in a really tough spot because we die to any vehicle. And actually, you see, yeah, it's stacking a ton of manpower, actually. Like a ton. That's why his roster is so small. He could have like 2 or 3 more squads here at least. So, why are we saving manpower then? This must be for something. Which wee bollock do you want shot off first? Yeah, that's the Scottish sniper. We do love him. It is a 55 cal, yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah. I've actually held one. I've actually held one of the very few remaining examples of a 55 cal. And, yeah, it feels beefy. You are aware that it is heavy and huge. It's actually a little bit more sophisticated, it felt, than the PTRS, which we also got to have a go with. The PTRS is like Soviet engineering at its fine. The PTRS is kind of just feels like a metal tube with some bits, but it does feel like a metal tube. You feel like it could be made very simply. And the same is really true of the Boys 55, but it just felt like there was a tiny bit more sophistication going on. I don't really know what gave it that feeling. But yeah, it is heavy and very simple and brutal. 55 is a lot of calibers.
Trying to take it.
They actually implemented the Boys AT in Battlefield 5. You can't aim it without using the bipod. That's interesting. I like that. That's a cool mechanic. I've got to say, I loved the Battlefield series. It was one of my favorite video gaming series. And then Bad Company 2, for me, was where it just apexed, and I had such fun with Bad Company 2. And then Battlefield 3, oh my god, it just felt so bad. I've got to be honest, it felt so bad. It felt like they were trying to emulate Call of Duty with the map design. Like, remember there was that subway map, and it was just Call of Duty the whole way through. Me and my friends did not like that game. And then I tried Battlefield, the World War I themed one. I can't remember which one that was. I tried the first World War I themed Battlefield game, and I just didn't really gel with it. Didn't like it. We got a Valentine here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Valentine. So then I left the Battlefield series basically, and I'm still waiting. I'm very skeptical about returning to it whilst it's still under EA's stewardship, because EA just are very good at making a particular kind of game, and I am not very good at enjoying that particular kind of game. So Pyrotechnics package comes down, MG42 going to GTFO. Valentine coming forward, going to try and engage into a Panzer IV? Is this wise? Oh my god, he penetrates the front armor. Okay, Valentine, you've got a GTFO. You don't have the health pool to be sustaining this. The Scottish sniper is here. Ah, yeah, he's going to lose the Valentine. Bit of an overextension there, just staying too long with the Valentine into a Panzer IV. Got to remember, the Valentine, strong as it may well be, I still feel like we don't know, because I was going to say we never see one on stream. We saw one this game, but it didn't really live very long, did it? So I still feel like I haven't cast a Valentine, but it is still a light tank, right? You can't just sit and trade front armor with a medium tank. That seems like you should lose on paper, and that is what happened here. So, bit awkward there for Sturm Tiger Giap. We probably didn't want that to look like that. I gotta be honest though, actually. Now that we're talking about FPSs and whatnot, the new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, it has to be one of the best FPSs I've ever played. It's incredibly well done. I mean, it is Call of Duty, so if you do not like Call of Duty, you're probably not going to like it. But it is the biggest, most expansive FPS I've ever played. It has the broadest range of game modes to suit whatever mood you're in. and it's got so many guns. The gun customizer, the gunsmith mode it's called, is so deep. Like, honestly, no other game even comes close. It is ridiculous what you can do with the gunsmith in that game. It's very fun. It kind of reminds me more of Gran Turismo and like tuning cars in that than it does like a gun customizing thing. In other games, you can just slap a scope on or change your ammo type or a combination of these things. The gunsmith in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is insane. You can do so much. And it's really fun. It really is fun. It's just a fun game. I actually really like Modern Warfare. I'm playing a little bit of it.
The Huns have 300 points at the moment.
I kind of feel like we're just waiting for CCR to sort of lose the Panzer IV, and then this game will be over, right? This is just so tough. He's down to 2 Pioneers, 2 Stormtrooper squads against a proper UKF army. Sniper here, just continuing to cause havoc. 10 Germans. I would say skulls busted. Okay, CCR gonna GG. Wow. We've had a series of quick games today. The one true epic game that we got today ended on a DC, which is just unfortunate. So, Ghost Recon has better weapon customization. Fair enough, mate. I've not played that. I will look into it. I loved Ghost Recon 1. Played the hell out of that. I mean, I appreciate that's a long time ago. Okay, we're casting this one. Didn't even need to think about it. I think we've got a Nagano versus real Panzer Grenadier and Griefen game here. COD is very arcadey, yes, but then again, I grew up on Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament and stuff, so a certain amount of arcadey I can very much deal with. Yep, Crossing in the Woods games, boys and girls. OKW versus Soviets. This has all the trappings of a great game between 2 fantastic players. We could be in luck here. Spawning in the north, playing as the OKW player, it is going to be the screen name Tiramashit, but reality, the real Panzer Grenadier and Griefen. And spawning in the south, playing as the Soviet forces, Ruka ACL's Nagano, who, as far as I know, is actually Ruka ACL's Nagano. So, yeah, 2 excellent players here. Both going to go ahead and choose their commanders straight away, and both of them surprising me. This is not the commanders I thought we would be seeing. So it's going to be Overwatch Doctrine for PGA here. A doctrine which I was skeptical about earlier on in the month, but the more I see it, the more I do understand why people are choosing it in the meta. It actually is okay. It's better than okay. It's good. And Ruka ACL Nagano going for the Soviet airborne troops tactics. Well, okay then. For quite a time, my favourite Soviet commander. But as I've come to appreciate other Soviet commanders, and also, to be honest, as this one got nerfed a bit, the cost increased on the airdrop weapons. It does sound small, but it takes them from being an absolute no-brainer free up, well, not free, but kind of free-feeling upgrade for all your conscripts, to being actually something that is a real investment. Like 60 munitions is the fair cost. They were right to change that cost. But because at 45 it was a no-brainer. Like, just put it on all your conscripts. Whereas now it's just like, well, I might actually have to budget for that. You know, it is actually a real cost now. So, yeah, I think that change, combined with the fact that I just kind of don't get 100% utility out of the other abilities on this commander every game, means that actually I more often than not find myself picking other Soviet commanders. So, yeah. Here we go. James Ogtalk, man, I grew up on CNC as well, man. That's because CNC is the way forward, man. And you can play CNC. Get the CNC remastered package, friend. It is hilarious. I've been out there trying to play GDI against a world of Nod. And I've been out there playing Nod because that's the right thing to do. And, oh, okay, nice work, James. Nice work. All right, cool. And, dude, I don't know if you were here earlier on the stream when I gave it a shout-out. But if you like Command & Conquer, Command & Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath, is my favourite Command & Conquer game. It's so good, and it's half price right now on Steam. So like, it's with the so you have to buy the base game, Command & Conquer 3, and then you need the expansion pack, Kane's Wrath, and they are both half price, but together they're £15. I think it's as good as Red Alert. Yeah, I think it is as good. In fact, I think it's better than Red Alert. Yeah, I do. Because it's just more crazy and out there with the units. And there are freaking 9 playable factions, which are all very different. So GDI and Nod, there's like, you can play the default flavor, the vanilla version, or the two sub-factions, and they have completely different units and tech trees and abilities and stuff. So it is like actually 9 playable factions, which is like insane fun. And the stuff you can do on the map with engineers and the mechanics with buildings and the way all of the units interact and the just overall feeling of the Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath universe, they nailed it, man. And you can still play it online if you have CNC online. So, like, dude, I'm having so much fun with Kane's Wrath at the moment. It is sick. And it's quite nice in a way, because I am playing a lot, or I was playing a lot of StarCraft and other RTSs in, like, more recent years. And they're so click-intensive. And now that I have this inflammatory condition with the tendons and the RSI, being able to play Command & Conquer where you don't have to constantly be microing in your base, like, well, macroing in your base. You can be leading an assault and giving that all of your attention and like 90% of your APM whilst you're building builds, and then just click back to your base, throw down the building, like take care of 1 or 2 things in your base, and then go back to the assault. You don't constantly have to be going back to your base to do things, like in StarCraft, where you have to constantly be going back to do mules or injects or throwing down things or putting on add-ons or like, you know, macroing in StarCraft 2 is a chore. And it is one of the greatest things about the game, because it does separate the men from the boys. It really does separate the good players from the bad. But good God, like it's just very taxing, I suppose. And Command & Conquer is considerably more liberating. If you just want to focus on making someone's life hell with flame tanks, you know, you can micro your heart out and just beat them with flame tanks. If that's what you want to do, you can do it. And the reason I especially really like Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath, right, is because right from the start of the game, you have access to units that are both tremendously powerful and tremendously fun to micro. Someone did say flame tanks, Jono. Welcome aboard, friend. You came at the right time. So right from the start of the game, with any faction, you have access to units that are, like, amazingly good. Yes, Command & Conquer 3 flame tanks are hype, man. They're so good. So, for example, if you play as GDI, like, right away, you can build... In fact, pretty much one of my favourite opening GDI builds is, like, 4 APCs with 4 rocket squads in them. And then that is a unit, then, which is good against infantry vehicles, structures, and aircraft, and is quite mobile. And you have it at Tech 0, and you can rush someone with that. And, yeah, the appropriate counters exist. It's not broken, but it's a fun thing to do. It's like, what if you could build Mutilisks at Tech 0 or something like that? You know, it's like... It's right out there. And all the factions have really punchy shit that they can do straight away. And the game is also paced correctly. Like, games seldom take more than 10 minutes. Definitely never more than 20. Like, someone will have died by then, usually. So, Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. It's fucking amazing. It's 50% off. You can play it online if you get CNC Online installed and running. I would recommend it. It's hype. It's so hype. KV-8s are also pretty hype, yes. KV-8s. It's like... the Nod flame tank in a historical setting. Okay, alright, enough raging on about how good Command & Conquer is. I've done that enough today. Let's focus on this game. We've got a Dushka coming down, thanks to the airborne doctrine here. We've got no SVD rifles yet on these conscripts, but we're only 6 minutes in. Still, you'd expect to see some by now, usually. PGA has been having a rough time, but is inflicting decent losses on Nagano's side of the map with regards to getting to the cutoff and putting pressure on. These Volksgrenadiers have been very irritating. Did he lose a squad of Volksgrenadiers? Nope. Okay, sorry. I thought he had 4 Volksgrenadiers for a sec. Nope, he has not lost a squad of Volksgrenadiers. Very good. And it will be a Battle Group at HQ build here for PGA, who's going to be rocking with the flak half-track out of that tech. So SVDs are now appearing. You can see on the top right, some of these conscripts have got SVDs. On me, so that's going to be a bit more damage for those units, making them a bit more efficient in these fights, and that is, for me, the best part of Soviet airborne doctrine, is just making conscripts kind of good. That's nice. That's nice. That's all I have to say about that. Why are these conscripts hoorahing? Why are they going so fast? Was that a misclick? I'm not quite sure if he meant to hoorah there. I kind of doubt it. Maybe just accidentally pressed hoorah. Bit confused about that. Anyway, flak half-track will reveal itself under the arc of a Dushka, which immediately turns on AP ammo. Not firing because he's suppressed. Oh, that's awkward. Why is he not firing? He just has no scouting over this flak half-track. Oh god, move in the conscripts. Quick, use the AP ammo, 15 seconds. There we go. Now he's putting some damage on. Watch the veterancy on this. Look at that, he gets half a bar of veterancy off of 2 bursts. And then has to fall back. Alright. Could have definitely wanted to do better there with the AP ammo. I like the thinking, it was there. Oh no! No! He's gonna lose the Dushka! Oh, this is so bad! That's so bad. Oh god. No, that is so bad. Oh no. Alright, Nagano, your work is cut out for you now, sir. This is going to be a rough game. Oh no, losing some conscripts as well, are we, sir? Well, one good turn deserveth another. I think you can just go ahead and leave this game now, Nagano. I mean, I hate to say it, but Jesus Christ. The wheels have catastrophically ejected from the chassis, and this is looking rough. Oh my god. Rip Soviets indeed, Jono. Yikes. Oh no. I think we might be dead here, boys. Oh my god. That all went wrong in the blink of an eye. We gifted our OKW opponent the one thing they desperately wanted and which we couldn't afford to lose, which was the Dushka. Oh no. And then immediately after we lost some conscripts, so now Nagano is so far behind. The only thing Nagano has, right, is a bit of a scoreline advantage. So there is some time to work with here, but I mean, Nagano, to their credit, not GGing, and this game is absolutely not irretrievable, but it does look very grim, doesn't it? So, that's tough. Maybe he's driving an 8-wheel. Yeah, he's driving like a Puma or something. He can afford to eject a couple of wheels and it stays on there. Look, I mean, he has some time, right? He can, if he can bring this chassis to a halt in some intact condition, if he's got some spare wheels on there, then we can break out a jack and a wrench and a wheel nut and other manly mechanical sounding things that may or may not be relevant to the task at hand. And we can try and put some wheels back on this wreck. A Zis gun is a good start. We've got 3 squads of conscripts, and those conscripts do have SVDs, but we're fighting into a Dushka. How has this happened? Oh no. I can't. That Dushka was the most cursed. He used AP ammo here, and it did like nothing, which is just so bad. I mean, I like the idea, but it was just really unlucky. And then it got wiped out and nicked. That was the life of that Dushka. That is so bad. Oh no. And now our OKW player is teching. That's rough. Oh no. Oh no. And the T-70 just nearly dies. He's going to save the T-70. Thank goodness. But he has to build another engineer squad to see to it, because this engineer squad are out capping. I mean, I think going for another engineer squad is actually a really clever decision, because like right now you just need boots on ground. You've got conscripts to do the fighting. With SVDs they can do that, but you need some squads just to be out there on the map not fighting. So for the cheapest possible price, engineers will fit that envelope. You can upgrade them with a metal detector. They will make your vehicles more efficient later. So I like going for these engineers here. That's fine. And look, the Zis gun actually finds the flak half track. That's going to force smoke. No? Wow, that's brave. Doesn't. I guess he gets it behind the shot blocker, so no smoke needed. Fair enough. Still pretty brave not to smoke. I think a lot of players would have just hit smoke there. And this T-70, a little repaired. Okay. We're not going to be able to... Oh, God, the Dushka is here to cover their retreat. Betrayed by the Dushka. I mean, at least for Nagano, that was a relatively cheap Dushka. What are they? 50 munitions, 125 manpower? I mean, that is relatively cheap as far as Dushkas go. At least it wasn't the full 360 manpowers that he lost. So, yeah. Alright, conscripts with SVDs getting out. If he can get the model that's carrying the Dushka... no. Okay, he's going to get away. I like trying to get the Dushka back there. Those conscripts, they did try. And they're going to be able to put some damage on these retreating Volks. All good stuff here. Nagano actually taking some fights out on the map. And that is what we thought may not happen. And that is good to see. And now the pocket will be closed. We kind of need to fall these conscripts back. There's a lot of angry Germans standing behind them now. Let's get them out of there. Jaeger light infantry are, well, they've been out for a while, but they're here. I haven't commented on them. The G43 is finished. Did he get that? Oh, he didn't quite get that. Kettenwerfer did slap around onto the T-70. This T-70 seems to have been spending its life on death's door, but that is acceptable as long as it doesn't actually die. Technically, the only point of HP that matters is the last one. So, living to that rule. Technically, it is just efficient. Taking a lot of damage without letting your units get killed arguably is just very efficient. So Nagano here, perhaps you could say, playing very efficiently. Gonna repair the T-70. Much needed. Would love to see mechanized armor Campanile. We have the money. Until you hit a mine. Yeah, well, I think on a T-70, no amount of HP will save you from a telemine. So even then, if you're on 1 HP and that telemine takes off your last point of HP, you're like, ah, that telemine was so bad. Take that, German player. Well, you're not really, but you know. Booby trap point! Yeah, I love it when OKW players remember that they have units that can do this, and they have the munitions and they can do it. This is a really cool ability. Oh god, flak half-track, Storm Pioneers here. Zisgun actually, where is that Zisgun firing from? Firing from here, very nice. Gonna shove the half-track away, and that removes the suppress from the Soviet infantry, so he can stay active. Soviet infantry as well, advancing unchecked in the west, so even if Nagano has to fall back over here, it's kind of okay, as long as he's making progress elsewhere on the map. Obersoldaten here, LMG 34, sorry. Gonna be finishing up quickly on them. How did Nagano not just get ruffle stumped after losing the Dushka? Well, by being very savvy with where he decided to direct his conscripts. He just suddenly went on the aggro. He was just like suddenly sent the conscripts onto the north side of the map and started playing guerrilla tactics, essentially, to play for time. Not entirely that, but also making savvy choices with repurchasing engineers, just because if you're doing guerrilla tactic nonsense with your combat units, you kind of want some units who can just be out capping points while your opponent is distracted, and engineers, as I was saying, fit the bill for that really well. And then we managed to rebuild into a Zisgun. That was the next choice, and that helps us against the flak half-track, and it has controlled that flak half-track. Every time the flak half-track is set up in a place that is about to dominate a load of Soviets, it gets dinked by a Zisgun and has to run away. So well done, Nagano, on that. And then we've gone for another Dushka, which, as long as we don't lose this, is fine. And now the composition is actually kind of looking acceptable. We also got this T-70, which, despite being on death's door repeatedly, has never died. And now we have wiped out the Dushka, which has been savaging us. Oh, booby trap point gets a kill on a Soviet squad with SVDs. So, you know, Nagano getting taxed for this. The booby trap there, obviously paying dividends. And I think players forget how potent those booby traps can be. They're very good. I really like them. Oh, conscripts on the chopping block over here as well. Looks like Nagano will get them out of harm's way in time. And the thing is, behind all this, even though he did lose the Dushka and he got into that terrible position early on, actually Nagano has always had the scoreline advantage, which actually means that he has always had a little bit of a pocket of time that he can use to get back in this game. So he's actually ahead now, basically ahead. I actually think he's basically ahead. And that's fine. He's ahead in all but tech. No, I take it back. Nagano is actually just ahead. He's like substantially ahead. So that's pretty hype. He's actually just substantially ahead. Look at this. They're both at max tech. He has like 100 more fuel, or like 70 more fuel. It's pretty good. If you look at the top left, look at the top right, you know, look at these armies. He's absolutely fine. This is definitely a holdable position. Like the OKW player has some nasty stuff. Obersoldaten are great. Jägerlights are great. The flak half-track is great. But at least the Soviet composition can deal with those things, even if it's not a fight you super feel confident about. At least you have some tools that you can use to help. Oh god, the double Kettenwerfer. Alright, okay though. Losing some conscripts and now the T-70 in fairly rapid succession. Oh no. And we feel pressured into getting a T-34. Nagano, no. I don't like this T-34. But we'll see if he's able to make it work. I mean, this is a T-34 that we're building into double Kettenwerfer and an Axis opponent who's probably about to build a Panzer IV, and that Panzer IV will absolutely be the final piece of the puzzle for killing off this T-34. So I am a bit concerned about the T-34. Yeah, I think that was a pretty spectacular recovery for Nagano. Oh, Volks Grenadier is going to get the flank up on this Zis gun. That is annoying. Now the Dushka has to turn. And he can immediately turn it back. Okay, no punish comes through there. That's fine. And this is going to be very difficult moving forwards. The T-34 is here, so there's a very brief window where this T-34 is going to be the Kingmaker, and then we're in a rough spot. Then we're in a super rough spot. Just depends, what does PGA want to spend this fuel on? Will it be a Panzer IV, or will it be something nastier? We're going to find out. Stay tuned. After the break. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is going to be difficult. And the T-34 is kind of being idle. Hasn't really done anything yet. Finds the Obersoldaten. Obersoldaten just have sprint. What? Obersoldaten have sprint? When did this happen? When did Obersoldaten get sprint? What? Was that for real? Jesus Christ. Are Obersoldaten good enough? No, but the Obersoldaten had sprint. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm totally clicking on the wrong unit. Thank you very much, everybody. And Magpie is officially tripping. Okay. Let's all move on and never speak of that again. Thanks, everybody. Nicely done, creative. Yeah, speak about what? No idea. No idea. Yeah, German troops now just kind of beginning... Yeah, it is a Panzer IV. German troops just beginning to manhandle here. Once the Panzer IV arrives, then PGA is in the ascendancy. If you ask me, this is going to be really difficult for the Soviet player to engage. I think the only cool thing about the Soviet composition right now is the double Dushka, which actually, if they are set up correctly, can deflect a lot of what is good about this this German roster. The double Dushka can make it difficult here for PGA. But if those Dushkas are caught out, or if the Dushkas are not correctly facing, or if anything goes wrong with how the engagement begins, then I feel like this Panzer IV has just got insurmountably good support. So I feel like PGA ought to be dominant on the field for a little while here. So Nagano's going to have to weather the storm, and that is going to be quite the ask. Now, Nagano does have the rocket run available. I hope Nagano doesn't feel compelled to sacrifice the T-34 and pin all his hopes on the rocket run, though, because that should be a last chance Hail Mary. Oh no, this is exactly what we couldn't have happen. I mean, I didn't like his chances before. I don't like him even more now that we've lost that conscript squad. So, yeah, this is really rough. Now, here comes the T-34 onto this Panzer IV. There is actually... Where are the Kettenwerfers right now? Are they not here? Oh, the Kettenwerfers are back at base. All right. But, I mean, you know, an OKW Panzer IV begins life with those armoured skirts. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but against the T-34, it is more than a match. So, that's pretty rough. Double T-34, we will soon be here momentarily, but... Okay, with a Zis gun in the fight. Oh no, is he... Oh god, don't overcommit, man. Don't overcommit. Oh god, and OKW troops here looping round behind a Soviet push onto the bridge. The flak half-track there to block the advance, and that's a big rout of Soviet units there. Luckily, it was really only one of the machine guns and the engineers, so not the end of the world. And the T-34 can cycle back to cover against this attack here. A little bundle grenade there, not actually going to achieve a lot. PGA needs to be a bit careful with the munitions. The double Kettenwerfers are in a lovely position now, and that's going to make life very difficult for these Soviet tanks. There we go. Just going to be taking Kettenwerfer hits here. And it's pretty rough. Losing those conscripts is just... That was so ill-timed. Just when it looked like Nagano might be sort of salvaging a playable composition, you know. And, man, this flak half-track continues to find value. And now PGA can just... Whatever PGA wants to add into this roster will be good. This is such a solid foundation. Anything you choose is going to be great. So I'm keen to see exactly what the fuel spending will be. The double wounded T-34s coming in deep for this flak half-track. That's so risky. That's so risky, and he's going to kite them away. If he somehow lost the T-34s for that flak half-track, I'd be so worried. Sorry, I've just noticed. These T-34s actually have different skins. Look at that. One of them's got like the little extra fuel tanks and the little sort of baggaging on the side, and the other one's like totes naked. That's so cool. I didn't even realise there were different skins in the game for the T-34s. That's so cool. Adds a little bit of extra visual variety into the game. That's so hench. Huh. Yeah, a mortar would be super nice, but I mean, manpower is not really a luxury we have because we've been hemorrhaging this conscripts. If we hadn't hemorrhaged the conscripts, absolutely. A mortar. Oh my god, he goes up to triple T-34. Nagano. Alright, buddy. Fair enough. Okay, I mean, he can definitely get something done with triple T-34. The rocket run is still in the bank. We've got two, actually, in the bank, really. So that could definitely help. Dushkas are going to be covering mid. Obersoldaten nice, but not so nice when they're getting suppressed by a Dushka. Panzer IV comes out into west. The T-34's repairing, but even with 2 squads of engineers, it's slow work. And we need those T-34s out there right now. So here comes the third T-34. Oh god, what did he just lose? Another squad of conscripts. Oh, Nagano. I want you to win this game so badly, and he still has the scoreline advantage, which is insane to me. Still leads by 100 tickets, which is actually makes all of this action kind of okay. It means that he still has time to rebuild this composition. He did just lose a squad, absolutely. So we're down to 1 squad of conscripts now, and that is not enough. Because the engineers, you've got 3 T-34s now, so those engineers basically have to be repairing T-34s all the time. 4 T-34s? I thought that this was a Soviet airborne doctrine, man. What is this? Oh god, no, not the conscripts! Get the conscripts out! Oh no, there's conscripts. Oh, the focus fire from these Volks. And the Panzer IV coming in. The conscripts get out of there. Triple T-34 angry. Watch for the rocket run. Watch for the rocket run. He wants the Panzer IV. The armor is so good, though. The double Kettenwerfers are here. The T-34s are pursuing in. The first one goes down. The second one now receiving the wrath. Are we going to see a ram? A Faust will connect. That breaks the engine on the one that's actually close. The Kettenwerfers plying their evil trade. And this one Panzer IV is actually going to win the 3v1. Rocket Run is going to come down, but I actually think that Panzer IV may survive. Let's see. Nope, okay, I take it back. Whoa, the angle on that Rocket Run was masterful, actually. Alright, so he gets the Panzer IV. But that was 3 T-34s for a Panzer IV. Now, we come out of this with a T-34 still alive somehow. And Nagano also lost. Did he lose another unit during that? I don't know. Yeah, James, use the rockets! I feel you, bro, but he did actually use the rockets at the right time. He did actually use them at the right time. So, masterful timing there for Nagano. Wow, that Panzer IV, though, yeah, traded so well. Even if it was VET 0 and just entered and killed those 3 T-34s, that would have been fine. But it had already done some other work out on the map as well. So that was a great Panzer IV. And you saw there, as soon as the lunge from the 3 T-34s in this position came through, you saw Nagano starts lunging towards the Panzer IV. He instantly kites the Panzer IV towards the waiting Kettenwerfers, and that was massive. Absolutely massive. But look at Nagano playing for time out here. I mean, somehow he's not under the clock, despite having, like, just not as much stuff. His position continues to be playable because of his sheer determination to hold onto the map. He actually has... He has double fuel. Like, he's had double fuel for a little while there, so no wonder he can actually buy these T-34s. You know, it's crazy. So... Ugh. Nagano's actually kind of a genius. And this is a really cheap way of getting extra squads, actually. Okay, because the limiting resource here is manpower, right? Because he's losing squads and he's building tons of T-34s, which he's kind of also losing. And you need a lot of manpower to do that. So what's the cheapest way, manpower, what in terms of manpower only, what is the cheapest way of getting more squads? Well, it's actually calling in Dushkas, because they're 125. That is almost half the price even of engineers. And they are actually better in a fight than engineers. I mean, they're probably about as durable because of the received weapon team accuracy. But they obviously put out a lot more pain at a lot more range, and they suppress and do other things. So, okay, I think calling in Dushkas here as a way of bolstering your infantry roster is interesting, but it could be effective here. So this is super interesting. Panzer IV going to get rebought here, and that's going to do fine. That is going to be a monster. We know, we've seen time and time again that Panzer IVs are good against infantry. And there's a lot of infantry here. And we know that OKW Panzer IVs are more than a match for T-34s. So this Panzer IV is going to be born into a world which is perfect for its existence. And, that's got to feel good. As Obersoldaten beginning to vet up to the point where they get very scary. And there's no real credible threat to these Obersoldaten. Not really much that can sort of threaten to squad wipe them. Even the T-34, I mean, it's pretty much the only thing that could do that. Going up, I mean, Nagano committing to the T-34 plan here. This is so strange to me, because it's not necessarily just... I don't know. We'll see what he's going to get done with this. I mean, 2 T-34s, some supporting stuff, continues to have a decent scoreline lead. That's kind of okay. Is he going to lose this Dushka? Probably. That's a lot of anti-infantry firepower to be facing it. Yeah, he's going to lose this Dushka. I mean, this is the other problem with the Dushkas. They are fragile under fire, and when they die, your opponent gets the squad. And look at this guy! Oh, it does get picked off, but he managed to carry that Dushka this far. And that might actually be enough to stop it falling into Axis hands or getting salvaged. Ober's balanced? Yeah. Sort of take your point on that. Okay, Panzer IV here gets unlucky in the initial shot exchange. Wow, misses at point blank range. T-34 coming as the rear armor. Kettenwerfers are here though. Could we see a rocket run? Look at the micro from Nagano. Oh, he goes around the Kettenwerfer but gets tagged by a mine. Here comes the ram. It connects and now we can see the rocket run. The rocket run. Now we can see the rocket run. Yeah, okay. Alright, we trade 2 T-34s for a Panzer IV again. I'm still not sure. And a rocket run, so that's like 100 munitions on top of that. I'm still not sure how this is a good deal for the Soviet player, but it's what he's going for, and he got it. Okay, when the dust settles, it's now 3 Dushkas, 2 engineers, and a conscript squad against a proper OKW army. Yeah, I mean, the double fuel income has been good, and somehow Nagano is controlling the victory points, so, like, he actually has time, and he sort of can keep trading tanks. And he's stacking up manpower here. Come on, man, let's rebuy some conscripts, or call in some airborne guards or something. I think we need something here. A Zis gun? That represents quite the pivot. I mean, this Zis gun represents Nagano trying to transition into a more standard Soviet army, and I'm not sure that that can win here. But okay, we're going to grab another T-34. Sure, all of the other T-34s have done so well. Why not buy another? This is real Soviet tactics that we're seeing here. Just send in more T-34s. Send them in! Connex there doing the quick math on the resources traded. I'm not going to double check your numbers, sir, but I assume that that's right.
It's done. We have a new T-34 standing by.
Oh, what happened to the Zis? Oh, did he just get the Jaeger lights? Okay. That T-34... When he trades a T-34 for the Jaeger lights... Oh, that's rough. Oh, Connex. The thing is, Connex, when it comes to mods, right? I don't need more mods right now. But, you know, your name's on the shortlist, friend. We'll think about it. Oh, man. I think Nagano is sort of desperately struggling, but this cannot continue. Finally, the Axis player is going to get a triple cap here. And the double fuel income has been firmly halted, right? There is no Soviet forces nearby to take this fuel anytime soon. So I feel like the tables are turning. At long last, PGA's long stream of advantage here is gonna finally translate into taking a significant lead. What is with this base machine gun, by the way? Where is it actually facing? That's like super useless.
Supply sector under attack. Our territory is falling into enemy hands. The enemy is attacking our HQ. We have lost a machine gun crew.
Oh my god. Well, I think we're seeing the death throes here of Nagano, and this is
300 points stand.
this is gonna be the end. Oh god, what was that?
Our supply line.
Oh, the light gun is out. And it's all going wrong. 5 stars. 5-star flak half-track. Oh, yikes. Look at this blazing Volksgrenadier. He's going to get out of there. The blazing Volksgrenadier. That almost sounds like it was some kind of a pub in Nazi Germany. And, yeah, just the noose is tightening here. I mean, somehow, Christ. Look, Nagano's actually capturing a victory point and a fuel point. What is going on? And he's... What? Wait, how... What? Yeah, creative name. This is what I'm thinking. Like, Nagano can still win this. I'm like, what? Because PGA has actually, like, completed the tech tree, right? So is he going for KT? Oh my god. Christ, Nagano gets out from under the clock.
Enemy forces are
The
attempting to capture
fuck am I watching? This, what? This has been such epic play from Nagano. What the hell? Who continues to build T-34s with every gallon of fuel he has.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Are you kidding, Connex? I hope Nagano wins this. Look at this shit. If he wins this is just mad. Okay, alright.
The sector is at risk.
Double oversoul Dartner here. Oh! No, they're not! Oh! Oh, he kills the oversoul Dartner. At least it wasn't the vet ones, but like... Okay. Was that the Zisgun shot that got them? Christ!
T-34
Oh! Oh! This game. Everything I know about Company of Heroes 2 is wrong. What? Never fight Nagano. How is he? What? Oh my god. No. Okay. But the level of my casting has just deteriorated to the point now where I'm just sat here in disbelief. Because Nagano has just look the under. It's just been taking such heavy blows, you know, like just getting slugged.
The enemy has taken our supply.
Oh, Yeah. Imagine if Soviets had salvage. But 3-star Obersoldaten. That's tough. But you know, the T-34 doesn't care. Oh, Kettenwerfers, it cares about them. And Soviet units just every time it looks like Nagano might actually fall behind in the scoreline, Soviet units find some way of getting onto victory points. And every time it looks like Nagano might be out of T-34s, he finds some way of getting double fuel. And like, I'll be honest with you, ignore everything else that's happened in a particular game of Company of Heroes 2. If you can keep yourself from being on the clock in terms of the scoreline, and if you can keep double fuel for large swathes of the game, it doesn't actually matter if you've lost every single unit. As long as those first two facts remain true, you're probably going to win that game, right? Because you cannot lose if you don't fall behind in the scoreline. And it's very hard to lose if you have fuel income, double fuel the whole time. So, like... Alright, here comes the KT, though, right? We're close. Like, PGA's like, I've had enough of this shit. It is time for the KT. But, like, Nagano kind of almost has Su-85 money. And, like, actually the KT, especially on crossing in the woods where there's not a lot of room for it to hide, actually the KT can be managed by an Su-85. And if he keeps this T-34 alive to keep the infantry off of his Su-85, I mean, that's a game plan, isn't it, for Nagano, who's about to, by the way, get a triple cap. Just saying, that's the thing. We're seeing it happen. Does that what? The rocket run one hits the KT? No. Yeah, that is a 5-star flak half track, buddy. That's been alive since the start of the game. That has successfully anti-aired some 30-something Russian. What? It just died. Nagano, bro. That's the second time I've been like, this unit's really good. Like, earlier on, I was just like, oh, double Obersoldat, and blah, and then they just die. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, the 5-star FAC half-track, blah, and just dies. Successfully cursed. Absolutely. It was Vet 5. What just killed it? Can someone tell me? I wasn't even... What actually made that explode? It just exploded like it was hit by a mortar or something. What the hell? Was that a tank shot? It was the Zis guns. But they're all the way... But it was the Zis guns. Okay, thanks, Varkson. At least someone's paying attention. My mind is just blown at this point. Alright, KT's here. KT's here. KT is here. Oh, man. Alright, incendiary grenade on this Dushka. King Tiger coming out into west. Axis forces pushing mid as well. KT might get this T-34. The barrel is swiveling. Nope. Content instead to hurl death into these infantry. But that's fine. As long as the KT's fighting infantry, you don't really care too much. Not when it's Vet 0, anyway. The DPS against infantry just isn't quite there. He moved up and then ran back. Okay, thanks, Farson. Yeah, I thought that was probably what happened with the Zis guns. Look at the top left, look at the top right, look at the scoreline. Tell me this isn't doable for Soviets. It's totally doable. Nagano can do this. Now, he knows it's KT as well, so now he can save for the Su-85. It'll take him, what, 2-3 minutes? It's not hard. Actually, it'll take him less if he gets freaking double fuel again! I honestly, okay, if you are PGA and you lose this game, I think you can change your name to Nagano shit. Like, you know? Yeah, that's the thing, creative name. He shouldn't have gone for KT. He shouldn't have gone for KT. There was a window of time when you could have killed Nagano with a shattering blow, and PGA declined to make that move. He declined to make that move. He decided instead to tech for a KT. And that's not bad by itself, but I mean, now the game looks like this. And are you sure that this was the way you wanted to play the game? I don't know, PGA. I do not know. Because now you're down at 142, and the Soviet geezer has a lot of squads playing for map presence. And the Soviet geezer has double fuel income. And it's like, I don't know, man. A KT doesn't really help you with those problems. Oh no! No, not the 5-star Volks! No! No! I'm honestly losing my shit here. Rocket run! It's absolutely fine to lose a T-34 to keep the King Tiger off the front for a while here. No, the KT's okay. It's not gone yet. It's absolutely fine to play for time. To get your Su-85 out.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Oh my god. I think PGA is going to lose this game. This is probably the best game I've cast in a long time. This is insane. No, that's not true, actually. We've had a lot of great games recently.
Taken our supply sector.
He's going for another T-34. Okay, you know what? I respect the decision, and here's why. Alright, this game's actually not about killing the King Tiger. I would actually say the King Tiger is not even that good of a unit in this game. A Panzer IV would have been better, in my opinion. Because it's faster and it kills things better against infantry. Like, this King Tiger is just actually kind of a liability because it's so damn slow. And when you're behind, that's a real problem. And he is behind. So the plan from Nagano is just keep doing what he's been doing. Just keep on... Oh my god! Just keep on getting map presence. Oh my god! Gets both of the Kettenwaffers. There's no infantry left.
T-34 ready for combat.
What? I'm just... I have run out of comprehension for what is going on in this game. This is insane and I'm loving it. This is insane and I'm loving it. This is all the reasons. No, actually this isn't even all the reasons. But this is some of the reasons why I love Soviets and will always be a Soviet fanboy in this game. Because they're great. Because they just do stuff weird and then somehow it works. You know? It's like... Oh, so how did you win this game? Oh, I won this game by continuously hemorrhaging fuel units and infantry squads for like half an hour. That's how for the first half an hour of the game. Oh, okay, Nagano, good plan, nice. Okay, could you have done that with UKF? No. Could you have done that with Soviets? Probably not. Sorry, with Americans, probably not. But Soviets are just like, okay, so here's the plan, right? I'm gonna lose 6 medium tanks, and then I'm gonna be in a great position to take the game from there. And you're like, what? Like, how is that an acceptable solution? But it is. And there are some valid criticisms, right, of this OKW player. PGA, I love you dearly, bro, but this has not been perfect play. In fact, it's been very good play, you know? He has killed many Soviet units and destroyed many Soviet medium tanks. And traded very, very well. But sometimes in Company of Heroes 2, just sometimes, that's not good enough. Look, this is great! He's so okay trading these for time. Here comes the rocket run. And he can just trade the medium tank for more time. Time is all that he needs to win this game. He's even got a T-34 in the goddamn rear armor here. Oh my god. Bouncing. KTs, please. Double Zisgun chipping in though. KT on death's door. There's just nothing left though. This game's already over. Even if the KT lives here, and it probably will. This game's already over. Look at this T-34. Is he going to try for the ram? No.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
This is just brilliant. This is sheer entertainment. Absolutely a brilliant game of Company of Heroes 2. Literally masterful by Nagano.
We have taken the enemy down to 50
I just... See, one of the reasons why I really like Company of Heroes 2 is, despite the fact that it is a very good RTS, actually, if you look at how the games pan out, a lot of the time it's not intuitive. It is not in keeping with conventional RTS wisdom. Things can happen in Company of Heroes 2 that lead you to believe the game's going to go a certain way, and then actually it doesn't. And usually in RTS, that is quite hard to achieve, because in RTSs, once players have advantages, it's easier for them to get further ahead, and it's easier for them to get other advantages. And in Company of Heroes 2, that's not always the way it is. And Nagano here is going to take a super well-deserved win.
machine guns has been silenced.
Azilagath, thank you very much for the follow there, friend. Really appreciate your support. I hope you're enjoying this astounding display of Soviet stuff from Nagano here. And with 15 tickets remaining, I believe the game is concluded, but
On neutralizing a sector.
I could be wrong.
The people anticipate our victory.
Uh,
10 points remaining.
yeah, I mean, that's game, because there's no way Axis forces can get near any of the victory points. Wow.
Enemy forces capture the supply sector.
Okay, that's game. Wow. Well, in case you hadn't gathered, I'm not really sure what to say. Except that Nagano is, like, just one of the best players. And it's not even... I know that this wasn't all on Nagano, because I know PGA actually made some mistakes. But still, what a display in 48 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm glad that after the first game of the day, which promised so much, and then we had a crash, I'm glad that we were able to come across a true gem in this game. So, right, T-34, 9. 9 is how many were lost. Alright, so, okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the lesson from this game, and it's a very important lesson, is that most games of RTS, and so it's the 10th, damn. Most games of RTS, right, are decided by how effective the units are against each other. Well, no, that's not even true. It's decided by the fights, right? If you win the fights, you go on to win that game. And you can win fights by having better units, you can win fights by having the correct units that counter your opponent's units, or more often, you can win fights by having more units. As long as you win the fights, you normally go on to win the game. And this particular example that we just watched, that game, is very counterintuitive, because obviously we saw a Soviet player lose most of the fights for like half an hour or 35 minutes, or like, I can't really remember, a lot. Okay? And so the lesson from this game is, you can actually still win a game in an RTS, even if you lose most of the fights, as long as when you're losing those units, you're still getting value that counts towards the victory condition. And in this example, the Soviet units were being traded for 3 things, okay, which were all equally important. They were being traded for fuel, control of the double fuel. They were being traded for victory points, control of the 3 victory points on the map. And most importantly, the combination of those 2 things, if you have the fuel and you have victory points, then that gives you time. And that was the most important thing that Nagano was trading for. And with more time, you can get more fuel and then more victory point control by trading more units, because you're alive longer. If you're alive longer, having the 2 fuel points is worth more because you can buy more T-34s. So it is actually okay to be hemorrhaging units at a seemingly alarming rate, as long as you are trading them for things that are value. And there's nothing on the screen. There is no number for these things that he's trading for. I mean, I appreciate there's a clock and that's a representation of time, but it is not a resource. It doesn't say, here's the amount of time Nagano has earned with these moves. You can't point to a number or draw on a graph the value of these things. And it does take quite a high level of RTS understanding as a player to be able to identify when it is that you can do things like this and still win the game. And I don't know if Nagano was just playing very hard and won a game, or if Nagano was consciously aware that that was the game plan that they were executing. Doesn't have to be conscious. Doesn't have to be conscious. Might even be better if it's subconscious. Honestly, that's how capability is. You are best at things that you are subconsciously doing. And for however it is that Nagano took this game, they took it, and this is why Nagano is an amazing player. I would not be surprised if PGA has taken a break for the day after that one. Christ. Datton with it's the 10th T34 that wins the game. Yeah. He didn't even lose half of his VPs. Good point, Varkson, actually. He still had 258 to give. Oh, James, mate, thanks very much. Been appreciating having you in chat, man. You've got a good sense of humor. It's been good to have you in there. We'll catch you whenever. See you next time. Remember the Dushka loss at the start? Yeah, that looked horrible. That looked so horrible. Wow. Just that was a real mind blower of a game for me. Absolute, that was just so out there. I really thought Nagano was done, and then he wasn't done. It wasn't even slightly done. Pardon me. Wow. Hey. So, all right. Well. For God's sake. Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to do something on the laptop here at the same time. Just bear with me 1 second here, guys. The laptop has a really slow and clunky interface because it's very old, so it takes ages to respond to my... there we go. Cool. Okay. Well, I honestly do not know how I could ever top that game. And in any case, I probably have to go and get back to work now. I've only got like 90 minutes until close of play, and I've got some emails and calls I need to make. So that's going to conclude today's cast. My mind is blown by that last game. That was stunning. I loved it. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Once again, chat was an absolute pleasure. You're all aces in my book. It's just great fun having you all on board for the analysis, for the laughs, for everything. So groovy. Just what a last game. So yeah, thank you very much one more time. I'll be casting on the evening slots in the week moving forwards. Let's just go over that one more time, just for anyone who missed it. Here's the schedule. So Wednesday and Friday this week, I'm going to be casting at 1700 hours GMT. Bit of a change up there. And I'm hoping to be able to catch some different players and engage with more audience who are done with work and things. So that's the thinking there. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We're going to go and raid Angry Dutchman because he's playing right now, and we've enjoyed some games from him recently. So, yeah, thank you very much. And this for now, Magpie842 signing out.